of Lincoln.
Come on, it's 6 o'clock. Rise and shine, rise and shine.
It's time for Early Break with Sip and Jake, brought to you by Gaina Trucking. Live from the Koppel Chevrolet GMC studios in the heart of Lincoln, America. Here's 93.7 The Ticket's Jake Sorensen.
Did seem kind of meh.
And Steve Sipple.
Surprisingly good.
This is Early Break with Sip and Jake, sponsored by Gaina Trucking.
Again, are we good? Yeah. How
good.
about that? Someone turned my mic off. How dare they?
Well,
good morning. Happy Friday. Steve Sipple, Jake Sorensen on Early Break. Full show ahead. I've got lots of thoughts on last night's football game. Sip, you watched some of it too. We got Nebraska, North Dakota tomorrow, 2:30 kickoff, noon tailgate show at Tipsy Tina's. How are you today?
I'm doing great.
I'm fired up. I am fired up this morning.
It was nice to see football last night, and I tipped my cap to the folks in West Lafayette. They filled that stadium.
That was full to the brim.
I know Purdue lost. Did you say the score yet?
I have not. I
Go
was
ahead.
getting there.
Go ahead.
I was going to set it up, actually.
Set it up.
I was just saying, good
I'm
morning.
raining on your
fired.
parade.
Yeah, I'm fired up because I watched a bunch of football. We got football tomorrow. We got more football tonight, actually. Michigan State plays tonight in college football. They play a podunk. I think it's a directional Michigan, maybe they play. Anyways, yes, we're going to start off today's show regarding last night's football games because there were some interesting decisions made in Purdue-Penn State. Purdue had everything go in their direction. They had the ball late, up by 3. They refused to run the football to kill the clock.
Mm-hmm.
Aiden O'Connell had nearly 60 passing attempts in the football game.
59.
And Penn State has their best drive, what I've seen in years, as they go down and take the lead with less than a minute to go. And they hold on to win 35-31. Penn State prevails in West Lafayette. The Purdue Boilermakers begin the season like Nebraska, 0-1.
I struck by a couple things. The crowd was incredible in West Lafayette. It was an incredible scene, packed the place, loud. And it was a tremendous game. And then I had also tipped, you know what? Hey, I got to tell you, Jake, my blue blood thing is real. I found myself really, can I say cheering for, I'll just say wanting Penn State to win. In my innermost feelings were, God, I hope Penn State beats this team. I love blue bloods. I just love them.
Yeah, I think the reason I was pulling for them is because Purdue's in your division. Purdue is a team that is in, obviously Nebraska's in their own way right now, but Purdue is in your way in your division, and now you're both in the same playing field, 0-1. And they lost a home game.
Those two teams are pretty good.
I disagree.
They're pretty good.
Nope. Here's why I came away from that game.
I said pretty good.
I walked away from that game of Penn State Purdue thinking those are two subpar football teams.
Really?
I did. Now, I'll say this.
Really? Yep. I did not.
Yeah, I just wasn't impressed with them. Penn's, I'm going to start with this. Sean Clifford. Let's start with Sean Clifford, then we'll get to Jeff Brom's decision-making. Sean Clifford is damn lucky that he had one hell of a drive to end that game, made great decisions, had a beautiful touchdown throw to take the lead that ultimately won the game. Because if that had not happened, I could see Penn State fans revolting, saying, we want Drew Aller, the backup five-star quarterback, to start as soon as next week, because Sean Clifford, Sip.
Yeah.
Now his stats will show you he had 4 touchdown passes because he did.
Hey, the ratio was good. 4 TDs, 1 pick.
That's a good ratio, but you have to watch some. This is an example of where the box score kind of lies. Now, again, he gets credit because he had a wonderful drive to end the game, which was by far and away the best drive I've ever seen Sean Clifford operate in any year.
You're giving him credit right now.
I am, because he had some of the worst series you'll see right before that. The interception he threw.
Oh, God.
That was a 72-yard pick going the other way. Yeah. Sip, you saw it.
Yeah. What was he?
It was probably 10 yards over the receiver's head.
It was an awful pass.
But it wasn't just that. I dare you. I implore you. If you watched the game last night, you can call us too, 464-5685. This is the first game in a long time that was non-Nebraska. I watched from start to finish. I was that invested in Purdue Penn State.
I love that.
And I watched every series.
I love that. Then you have a lot of thoughts.
Sean Clifford just does not do it for me. Again, the stats will say he had a good game. His efficiency was terrible in the game.
20 or 37.
Is that good? But just below about 50%?
Not great.
And let me tell you, a lot of those 17 completions were just train wreck throws. Wobbly, right behind his receivers, over the receiver's head.
I get what you're saying. You're a little hard on him, though. You got to admit he's gamey. He's a tough kid. He keeps coming.
Well, he proved that in the final drive. I'm just saying.
You can tell his teammates respect him.
I am very confident right now in saying this.
Okay.
If Sean Clifford's final drive did not result in a game-tying field goal or a go-ahead touchdown, which did happen, I am pretty confident you would be seeing Drew Aller start next week. I'm saying that right now because you would say, oh, come on, Jake, 3 touchdowns, 1 pick at that time. Yeah. If you watch the game, you realize that was an empty stat line there.
I don't entirely disagree with your take on Sean Clifford, except I feel a little uncomfortable with you coming into the studio and knocking a guy who just led his team to a tough win on the road in the Big Ten.
That's why I preface this by saying he's lucky that he had the best drive I've ever seen him have in watching Penn State.
Why do you have to say it's lucky?
Because if he had not, I think they would go to Drew Aller as soon as today.
Well, that's the world.
For the next game.
That's college football.
That's a 5-star freshman quarterback that looked pretty good in his one series because we think that Sean Clifford may have had to go to the bathroom.
So Sean Clifford, so what happens is Sean Clifford's about 31 years old now. He's been playing there. He's been playing there forever. So everybody knows all his warts. So you want to bring in this kid who literally doesn't have any warts. He looks younger than Gus. Drew Aller. Yeah.
He probably is younger than Gus.
Yeah, he probably is
18.
younger than Gus.
He's 19.
He makes Gus look little, by the way. Drew Aller's like 6'7", 248.
See, he didn't look that big to me. They kept saying he's the next Ben Roethlisberger. I'm like, this guy's not big enough to be the next big Ben
you
Roethlisberger.
need to Google. Here, I'll Google.
Okay, what's fine. If the size, I'm just saying, I watched him in the pocket. I didn't see a guy that reminded me of Ben.
Okay, I said he's 6'5", 242.
Okay,
6'5".
I mean, he's 240. It's pretty big. He didn't look that big to me.
Anyway, that's kind of the way it is. Clifford is a veteran. We know all his issues. Aller could come in and throw a couple picks. Then what would you say? Go to the third string? I mean,
they go back to Clifford at that point. But I'm just James Franklin is breathing a big sigh of relief this morning. That number one, they won that game, and number two,
it's a great win.
Number two, that Sean Clifford had that drive to end the game because the Boo Birds would be calling and saying,
"You're not wrong."
Out of the stadium.
You're not wrong. You're not wrong. But the fact is, Clifford gets the last word. Okay,
he does, and
Clifford gets the last
I'm
word.
giving him credit.
I know you are.
Way to go, Sean Clifford, to save yourself from getting benched for next week.
Now switch over to Purdue. Your take on Purdue?
Okay, so Purdue's down 21-10 at halftime. Now it was the most Nebraska end to a first half I think I've ever seen for a team. Let me take you back to the very end of the first half, okay?
Yeah.
Purdue trails 14-10. They're driving in to get either a field goal or a touchdown.
Yeah,
right?
Yeah.
And on I think it was third or fourth down, whatever it was.
It was a fourth down run.
Okay.
Yeah, you're right. It's either third or fourth and short.
And Joel Klatt somehow blames the formation for causing a fumble. Thought that was the most weird thing I've ever heard.
Klatt botched that. He thought, okay, so they run a end around.
Yes.
I'll call it an end
jet
around.
Sweep, basically.
Yeah, jet sweep. Strange
to the
place,
left side.
Yeah, strange place to run a jet sweep, right?
But he had the first down.
He did, but a Penn State defender poked the ball out.
Right.
Yeah, and you're right. Now, Klatt said the runner never had control of the ball.
Oh, he had control.
Which was blatantly
wrong. You watched the replay.
Right.
It was tucked away for a couple steps.
Yeah, and I just want to tell you, I think Joel Klatt is one of the top 3 analysts in either pro or college football. Yeah, he just botched that. He said some things in analyzing that play where he just tried to speak it into existence. It just wasn't true. He goes, I blame it on the formation. I don't think the player ever had the ball in his hand. I'm like, wait a second. What are you talking about?
Watch the replay.
Yeah.
He's tucked away.
Yeah.
He broke a tackle.
Yeah.
And then got the first down. And then it was poked away.
Okay.
And by the way, great play by Penn State to recover that right before it went out of bounds.
Yeah, great
Good play.
play.
They reviewed it. He was in bounds.
So
so that's what I'm saying. It was 14-10. They're driving to get either a touchdown or field goal.
Yeah.
So now, Sip, there's 30 seconds left in the first half. It's 14-10 Penn State. They throw a pass. It's pass interference, 15 yards.
Yeah.
And then with 10 seconds to go, 12 seconds to go, Clifford throws it to a tight end.
Yeah.
And
Brenton Strange.
And he goes between two tacklers who both miss it, and he goes the distance. There's 2 seconds left in the half. And at halftime, with just miraculously, it's 21-10. And at that point, I said, hey, that was a weird end of the half. Purdue is by no means out of this.
No.
And I was right. They took the lead.
Right.
And they took the lead again, like Nebraska.
Yeah.
And then, Sip, they refused to run the football. Now, you and I are not high on King Doerue. We don't believe he's great. But King Doerue, when he was given the chance, actually had a pretty decent night last night. His stats,
15 carries, 57 yards.
Yeah, again, it's not impressive when you look at it, but he didn't get the chances.
No, 15 carries.
He had 2 nice little touchdown runs to break tackles, get in the end zone. But you got to give him a chance to melt clock.
Purdue was dead last in the country last year.
Dead last
in rushing.
2.8 yards a carry.
Dead last. You did watch that game.
I did. I listened. Yeah, I told you I watched start to finish.
Okay, so your beef was them not salting away a lead.
They didn't try. They tried to pass. Like this sounds like to me, it reminded me of what Pat Narduzzi said about Mark Whipple. The guy refuses to run the football, but they still won the game. This one, I couldn't. No one, announcers couldn't believe it. Fans couldn't believe it.
Right? Is that right?
They're just, and one of the plays, which was incomplete, was one of the most dangerous passes. I mean, Aiden O'Connell is trying to avoid a blitz, is going to the sideline and just chucks one up. Just frankly chucks it up, and Payne Durham almost makes a phenomenal catch. They call it complete in the field, and then they look at it, it's incomplete. The ball hit the ground. But that's not smart football.
That's Purdue football.
And Purdue is going to have problems.
That's Purdue football.
That's a team that, if that's the philosophy,
that is their
because
philosophy.
Their defense, I think, was okay. I mean, everyone says it was a great defense. I don't know. Their defense was fine. Purdue is going to have a tough time getting to 8 wins this year.
Ooh. Well, now they are for sure.
I'm calling it.
Again,
Purdue's looking at a 7-5 type of season.
I think they're staring down the barrel of now they go to Minnesota now. If you're a Nebraska fan, you're happy. You should be happy today.
Minnesota, by the way, last night just walloped on New Mexico State. I'll get the final score for you here. It was Minnesota 38-0 against Jerry Kill's New Mexico State.
Okay,
Aggies.
If you're a Nebraska fan, you should be happy today because Purdue is 0-1 in the league.
Yep.
Their next league game after a terrible non-conference schedule is at Minnesota. Okay. Now Purdue will have a hard time there. They're very, very realistically fallen to 0-2.
Sure. Minnesota looked very, very good last night, by the way. Defense good, and the offense was clicking.
Then Purdue goes to Maryland, and we both agree that's a 50-50 game. I didn't see anything from Purdue that would lead me to believe they'll waltz into Maryland and roll. I didn't see it.
No.
Okay. They could be 0-3 when they play Nebraska, Purdue. I don't know if that's good or bad, by the way.
It depends where Nebraska's at. They could be very desperate.
Right.
Desperate team.
Right. Purdue, that was a huge game for the program because there was a lot of energy in that stadium. In fact, I'm watching it going, man, Purdue's got a full stadium. The crowd is jacked. They're dancing to various forms of music. They're
wow, was that what happened at games?
Well, I'm an old, yeah. And
it's to me.
And I thought I do think that passing game that ultimately cost them their style is going to cause Nebraska problems because they really operate well in the middle of the field, Jake. Those crossers are not all that appealing to me, but man, they're good running crossers in the middle of the field.
So we asked the question, how does Purdue replace David Bell and Milton Wright? Well, they went to Iowa. Iowa's their guys now.
Transfer
Charlie
portal.
Jones had 12 catches. I'm pretty sure that he had 20 targets.
Probably.
At one point in the game, he had 16 targets with 9 catches.
Okay. Charlie Jones finishes with 12 catches, 153 yards. Okay.
And a touchdown.
If I think Charlie Jones is manageable.
He's just one of those pesky guys.
Yeah, he doesn't scare you, in my opinion. He was good last night.
See, here's my comparison to Charlie Jones.
He was good. Go ahead.
Now, this is going to probably be extreme, but you'll get what I'm saying when I say
You compare him to a white guy?
Well, I am, yes.
Okay, go ahead.
I'm going to compare him to Hunter Renfrow at Clemson.
Faster. Way faster.
Okay, so he's better than Hunter Renfrow.
He's way faster. I'm not saying
Renfrow
better.
was a stud for a very good football team.
I think anybody would back me on this. Charlie Jones is a flyer. Renfro's not.
He's a pretty good route runner, though, too.
Yeah, well, sure. Well, yeah, he is.
You're saying he's a pretty good player.
Jones is a good player.
He's going to cause problems.
Renfro's in the NFL. I mean,
yes, and he's had a nice career so far with the Raiders.
But he's not as fast as Charlie Jones.
So you're saying Charlie Jones might be better than Hunter Renfrow.
I don't know if I'm saying that. I'm just saying he's faster.
Well, Hunter Renfrow was.
I'm saying I don't like your comparison.
He was a go-to for Deshaun Watson at Clemson, and they won a championship because of that.
Yeah, yeah. Then they have Payne Durham, who only had 3.
The other Iowa receiver, Tracy.
He had 1 catch.
Is that it?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, 1 catch for 8 yards.
He was targeted a lot. He was several times too.
Yeah, but yeah, Charlie Jones comes over. If you're an Iowa fan today, you're like Joe Klatt said it best. Joe Klatt said it best last night.
Yep.
First couple catches, you're like, if you're an Iowa fan, you're like, okay, cool, good job, Charlie. By about that 7th catch, you're like, oh, you give me a break.
It sucks.
Is this really happening now? But there he is.
You're right.
Go ahead.
You're right. Tracy only had 1 catch. I thought they targeted more than that.
I don't know. Purdue, I thought the receiver core, I like that Mershawn Rice. He only had 3 catches, and I do like Payne Durham.
I do too.
I thought they looked scary.
Yeah.
I did. I'm surprised you're kind of meh.
I just think because the run game is they don't do it.
All right.
And I think their defense is overblown. I said it before the season.
Yeah.
I said, George Karlaftis is a big loss. And they got to Clifford a couple times.
Not a lot though.
But
hey,
I'm not sold on Purdue. I still love Jeff Brom, but I very, very, very much so question his play call.
You watch them. Are they going 0-3? I think they are.
Let's call it. Purdue's starting 0-3.
I think they're starting 0-3.
Let's get some calls. You've been patiently waiting on the Honda of Lincoln hotline 464-5685. We'll go to Chris at the Baldwin shop first. Chris, you're on early break. Go ahead.
Good morning, Steve. Jake, happy Friday.
Thank you very much for being patient. Happy Friday to you. You must just be thrilled right now. It's all rolling now. Football season.
It is. It sure is, Steve, isn't it? And the Penn State Purdue game, great game to watch. Very entertaining. Steve or Jake, I'm first. You questioned Brom's play calling at the end. I don't think he was calling running plays because let's face it, they can't run the ball.
Okay.
They cannot run the ball, and Penn State couldn't run the ball last night.
Not very well.
Not very well.
Penn State's got a freshman, that I think was probably the top or one of the top running backs in the country. He looked good on his first run, but after that he really didn't do much. I don't know. Maybe there's a line problem there, but. Jake, you're going back to that play right before the half where Penn State scored. That really hurt Purdue, I thought. That put them behind the 8 ball a little bit, even though they did come back. But overall, Steve, Jake, I don't think either of those teams are going to play with the big boys this year. No. I think when it comes to needing a game like that, as coaches go, I think James Franklin, Steve, really needed that game last night.
Yeah, he was 11-11 the last 2 years. I say that all the time, but that's pretty un-Penn State-like.
Yeah, I think he really needed that game. Purdue, I don't know. They're a little scary. Hey,
they are.
Charlie Jones. Okay, how about this comparison, Jake, Steve? Jordy Nelson.
There you go.
That's better.
Jordan Nelson can fly. Yeah.
Compare
him to a white guy that can run.
Like Charlie Jones. And boy, you look at Iowa missing something like that with their offensive woes in the last several years. Boy, I don't know how they can afford to lose a guy like Charlie Jones.
Oh, God, you're right. That's what it looked like.
They didn't use him properly, though, at Iowa. He's like, I'm getting 12 catches a game. Let's go, Purdue. Boy, they're up.
Yeah, and he was a good kick returner last year. I can remember him returning punts in Lincoln the day after Thanksgiving last year. Now, I thought we held him in check pretty good as far as that goes.
Yeah, did.
But, Steve Jake, I don't think Penn State and Purdue, I think Purdue's going to be a tough game for Nebraska out there. I don't think these two teams are going to win the Big Ten, though. There's just too many things wrong there. The run game, first of all. I just don't think against a really good defense, say Michigan or Ohio State, possibly, that has a great front four. They can put a lot of people in the secondary. I just don't think those teams are going to pass people silly like that, like teams like Ohio State, Michigan, anyway.
Right.
But guys, now getting on the Minnesota game, I kind of got up early this morning and watched some clips of that, and New Mexico State's not very good, but Minnesota did what they're supposed to do to teams like that. Steve Jake, 38-0, and I think that was the score about at the end of the third quarter. I think Mo Ibrahim had more yards, and now this kid's back. He didn't look. You would have an Achilles tendon to come back like that in a year. He just looked like he never had that injury last night. He had 121 yards, I believe, in the first half.
Ooh.
And then I think he ended
Explosive.
up with about 130.
Yeah, he's explosive. I'm with you, Chris. He looked very, very strong last night.
Yes, very, very tough. Their defense. You know what? PJ Fleck, he's right. He said, we've got athletes. We've got athletes, and they do. They do have some athletes up there, and their offensive line seemed to be fine. They ran for almost 300 yards. And, yeah, Minnesota's going to be a headache, guys, this year. But, we're going to have this all play out in front of us. But anyway, guys, hey, listen, you guys enjoy the football this weekend and have a great weekend, and I'll talk to you next week.
We better Huskerize this a little bit before we get to Greg. Greg, hold on one more minute. Oh, is he? Greg still with
there, yeah.
Greg, one more minute.
Hang tight,
I thought
Greg.
about Frost last night a few times. Neither team ran the ball well. Penn State 32 carries for 98 yards. Purdue 23 carries for 70. I thought about Frost because Frost says it's hard in this league just to turn for the quarterback to turn hand to the running back and expect anything. You saw both teams keep trying to do it, and it seldom worked.
I think that's why I believe those are both subpar teams.
What I am suggesting, it's hard for anybody to do it.
Right. I get that. But my point is that those teams can't run the ball. I agree with Frost, and they're not going to be that
I agree
good
with Frost, so I don't know what well, one thing you could say you can do is run the quarterback now.
And time is a flat circle.
But I think you can also incorporate more jet sweep. That's one thing you can do.
I'm with, I get what Scott was saying, get more creative.
Right.
Like you can run the football. It doesn't have to be traditional.
Misdirection. Right. Counters.
Pitches.
Yeah. Counter stuff. I don't think just turning and handing it. I kept thinking about what Frost said. Clifford would he would turn and hand it to Kayvon Lee or Nicholas Singleton. They just get nothing. They get wasted playing.
I'll tell you this though.
What?
Singleton, that was his debut. He's a stud
touted freshman.
Only 9 carries, 22 yards. If you look at his first run, he had about 10 yards. When that boy gets some offensive line play, or he gets a chance to actually get going, he's going to cook. Nick Singleton's a back. That's what I learned.
9 carries.
I know. Listen,
yards.
I
what
saw
are we talking
enough.
About here?
Well, the line just sucked later on in the game when he had more carries.
Give Purdue some credit over there.
I'll give him some credit.
Give Purdue's front seven
I
some credit.
stand by what I said to start the show. Those are two teams that are probably in the 7 to 8 win range.
I'd like Nebraska's chances against Penn State better than Purdue. I think they match up better.
Penn State had one difference-making player, and that was Joey Porter Jr. on defense.
Purdue scares me against Nebraska because of O'Connell's ability to work the middle of the field in the passing game, and that's Nebraska's really vulnerable.
I agree with that. No, I'm terrified of that game.
Yeah, they have enough weapons to really cause Nebraska a lot of problems.
But if I'm a Penn State fan this morning, number one, I'm happy we won the game. But I just don't know.
I'm really happy they won the game.
And I'd say this too. I mean, I'd be optimistic about the future because I think Drew Aller in his one series, a true freshman 5-star,
Yeah, he looked good.
is going to be good when he gets his chance to play.
He looks poised.
Nick Singleton, the running back, is going to be good when he gets a chance to play more and has more ability to get 15, 20, 25 carries.
But Penn State right now, you're right. They look pretty ordinary.
But right now is not the future. Right now, they look like a team that I'm not scared of.
Here's the deal, though. I hate saying what we're saying because it's a great win.
It was a great win. Yeah.
Great win.
Yeah. Think about, I'm saying all these things that are negative, and they won the game.
Right. Greg
They call from Greg and Milford at 464-5685. Greg, you're on early break. Go ahead.
Hey, how you guys doing on this Friday morning?
Good, Greg. Thanks for calling.
Greg, thanks for waiting. Thank you very much.
All good. Last night, both teams don't, how would I say this without sounding arrogant, don't scare me that much anymore. Purdue, I think we really have to, and I don't know why Penn State didn't do more of it. They throw the ball to the running back out of the backfield. Purdue could not stop that last night at all.
Okay.
And then Penn State, if I was Penn State in the next 3 non-conference games, I'm starting that freshman quarterback and that freshman running back and letting them try and get some rhythm because they are miles better than Clifford and the other guy.
I agree.
You can't pull Clifford, Greg. You
that
can't
would be a scary team
Hold
with those
on.
two in the backfield with a little experience.
Hold on, Greg. Clifford just orchestrated a win on the road against a good
But
team.
you know what you have with Clifford, though.
You
You
can't
just
pull
haven't
him.
in the last
You
5
can't pull him, Greg. You can't pull him.
But you already said you know what you have.
You can't against subpar competition to get the other guys reps and see what they have. I mean, what are you gonna do if that freshman comes in and throws for 800 yards against some non-conference? Clifford ain't doing that.
No.
Well, now wait a second. You're not suggesting that you pull him now, though, before the next game, right?
Well, I'm saying these non-conference games, Clifford don't need it. Let him rest because his knee's hurting today.
Penn State's
After
next
that one low hit.
Penn State's next 3 games. These are their non-conference games. They play Ohio at home, then they play at Auburn.
Ooh, tough.
You're gonna play Clifford there probably, and then you play
Maybe Clifford there.
Central Michigan at home after that.
They go, well, Auburn will be tough.
I would still start the freshman for the other 2 games. Maybe not Auburn,
Got
but I at least give Clifford the next game off because you could tell he was not 100% after that low hit.
Okay.
But neither team scares me right now. I mean, Nebraska, yeah, we have our holes, but I think our offensive play calls for what we ran against Northwestern will work against us.
Yeah, you'll move the ball against them. You'll move the ball against Purdue.
Hey, you guys have a good Friday. Have a good long weekend.
Thank you, Greg.
Greg.
I don't know. I don't feel comfortable about Nebraska getting into a shootout with Purdue, but that's what it's going to be.
Yeah, it will be.
That's what it's going to be.
I'm telling you right now, Charlie Jones is going to be a big problem in that game. I'm talking
I'm not
big.
convinced of that.
I am.
Why? Hold on. Nebraska's strength is its corners. Now, if he's working the middle,
He works the middle.
He does work the middle.
It's okay.
Right.
Yeah.
He
Charlie
does.
Jones is
Yeah.
going to, he's not a guy that, he will go do a fly route, but he does a lot of across the middle.
I know.
So that's why you heard it here first. It's not a surprise. Charlie Jones, barring injury, will be a major problem for Nebraska
for a lot of people
on October 15th.
For a lot of people, though. He'll be I guess Charlie Jones will be a major problem for a lot of people. I don't think he's a devastatingly talented receiver, though. He doesn't scare me like Bell did.
Pesky, though.
Yeah, he's pretty pesky. He doesn't scare me like Bell did.
No.
Right?
Or Rondale Moore.
Or Rondale Moore.
I want to say one last thing before we get to break, and this is regarding something that Chris said earlier about Charlie Jones.
Okay.
Now, I was watching really closely to see, hey, how is he going to look in the return game? Because Charlie Jones was the returner of the year last year in the Big Ten. The Big Ten special teams return, first team all Big Ten, kick returner, punt returner. I got to give Iowa credit. Iowa creates lanes when they have punt. This is stuff that you might think is not that important. It's important.
Oh,
This is a phenomenal punt returner in Charlie Jones. And there were some good punts that had hang time. I mean, he was going to have some space at Iowa probably to operate. I watched how Iowa fields punts compared to anybody else. I mean, Charlie Jones there always had a lane. Always. It was 10 yards guaranteed every time.
Oh, come on.
Not every time, but you get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I mean, those guys spaced everybody way out. Like whatever LeVar Woods, the special teams coach at Iowa, is doing in their punt return coverage, is unbelievable. Because Purdue had nothing. There was no lanes. It was all fair catches. It was one return for 0 yards, and there was quite a few punts in that game.
Yeah, there wasn't anything there.
I don't like giving Iowa credit, but LeVar Woods,
I do like Iowa.
LeVar Woods special teams coach in Iowa, does something that nobody else can do in this nation. And that dude should be hired for a head coach spot sometimes.
You do like giving Iowa credit, by the way.
I don't. But
fun game last night.
But just
fun game.
Watching the comparison of returns of the two schools, I'm like, dang.
I went to bed after Christian Jefferson returned that
and
interception. Yeah, the horror. He puked. Is the national media going crazy right now? The player threw up. Maybe we should overreact a little bit to that. Sorry. There it was.
Scott Frost talked yesterday about the upcoming game ahead. We'll get to his thoughts next. An early break in the ticket.
Get an immediate look back at the game from the people who know it best. It's the Tanner's post-game show and the final word live from Tanner's Bar and Grill at 30th and Yankee Hill. Hear from former players and national champions like Jay Foreman, Rashawn Jackson, and Aaron Davis and see what they saw in that day's game. It's the Tanner's post-game show and the final word. Live and in person, home or away at Tanner's Bar and Grill, brought to you by Bauer Infrastructure. Only here on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Action Plumbing, Heating, Air, and Electric brings exciting career opportunities for you or someone you know. They are now hiring plumbers, electricians, and HVAC techs and installers to continually build their professional team. They offer competitive pay and full benefits packages that include health, dental, vision, PTO, and 401k options. Action has created a positive team environment for over 50 years. Apply online at actionlincoln.com.
People first is more than a nice sentiment. At American Senior Benefits, it's the mission. If you're ready for a career where you can truly put your customers' needs ahead of everything else, this is for you. American Senior Benefits is one of the leading senior market insurance product distributors in the country, and they're looking for high-energy applicants with strong communication skills. Enjoy on-the-job training, a fun work environment, and unlimited income potential. Visit asbmidwest.com to learn more. American Senior Benefits.
Happy New Year! That's months away. Just practicing. And I entered the Nebraska Lottery's Powerball First Millionaire of the Year promotion through September 12th. Buy a Powerball with Power Play ticket and enter the voucher number to win a trip to New York City for New Year's Eve 2022 and a chance at $1 million. Oh, that's great. Got another horn? Just a noisemaker. Yeah, that'll do.
Powerball top prize odds 1 in 292 million. Today's play of the day comes from Nebraska. We pick it up with the local sports announcer at a Nebraska Lottery retailer.
Dave enters the store. He makes a move to the checkout counter. Looks like he's going to pass. Yes, he's passing the clerk a few dollars. The clerk takes the handoff and spins around. It looks like he's placed the scratch tickets on the counter, and now Dave has them in his hand. It's the old Scratcherooski. He scratches left. He scratches right. Oh, my! He's done it! Dave has scored a bundle of cash.
Play is good. Go play. Odds vary by game.
Hey, batter, batter, batter. Wings, splatter, splatter, splatter. Catch all this season's baseball action at one of your neighborhood Lincoln locations. Get League of Their Own wings, burgers, nachos, and ringers while catching all the action. Stop into Wings and Rings located on O Street in Meridian Park and 40th and Old Cheney in Williamsburg Village. Or place your order online at wingsandrings.com. That's wingsandrings.com. Buffalo Wings and Rings.
Wow. Did you ever save me money on my car?
Yes, that's why our customers keep coming back.
How do you do it, friendly car dealer ?
We simply have low overhead and high trade-in values. The next line's yours.
Oh.
Ready for something better? Mullen Motors is a no-hassle, no-pressure dealership with financing available. Check out the inventory at MikeMullenMotors.com.
No taglines, just quality vehicles. Mullen Motors.
The Labor Day savings event is going on now at Schaefer's. Take advantage of store-wide savings, interest-free financing, and special Labor Day cashback rebates. With LG, you can redo, replace, or upgrade all your appliances and get up to $300 in rebates. Plus an additional 10% in savings from LG on qualified purchases. Includes kitchen appliances and LG laundry pairs. Hurry in for the Labor Day savings event going on now at Schaefer's, 48th and R, Lincoln.
Gaina Trucking is hiring CDL Class A and B drivers. Gaina Trucking guarantees a 40-hour work week year-round, and their strong team culture makes it not a job, but a career. Gaina Trucking offers health, vision, and dental insurance, 401k with company match, an employee assistance program, and other bonus programs. Build a better career today with great team culture at Dana Trucking. Learn more and apply today at danatrucking.com.
93.7 The Ticket, Fox, KFXL weather. Sponsored by Security First Bank, a relationship you can count on.
Another hot day on the way for your Friday, topping out at 96, a south wind at around 10 to 15. We will watch for scattered thunderstorms developing along a cool front late this afternoon into this evening. The low tonight down to 63, much more comfortable tomorrow with a high of 84. I'm meteorologist Tim Wright for 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
I grew up hearing that women are bad with money. But like many of you, I spent years paying bills, managing checking accounts, and taking care of my family. So turns out women are pretty good with money after all. And now I'm taking control of my financial future by saving for retirement. It's never too late to start, and there's a great website to help you. Check out WeSaySaveIt.org and jumpstart your retirement savings on your budget and your timeline. That's WeSaySaveIt.org. Brought to you by AARP and the Ad Council.
This
good morning, little brother.
is Early Break with Sip and Jake, brought to you by Dana Trucking. Weekday mornings from 6 to 8 on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
From the text line during the break, 402-464-5685. Couple texts about this same type of response. What team scares me as a Husker fan? Every single team we have to play. Buffet says Nebraska is the only team that scares me right now as a Husker fan. Scared of ourselves.
I mean, I get it. But if you watch that game closely, as you did last night, you saw a lot of these teams have kind of a lot of the issues that Nebraska had. You saw the run game for both teams sputter. They obviously weren't, neither team was able to get much push up front, right? I'm sure there's a lot of consternation in the fan bases about that. You saw drop passes.
I did.
Right.
Just like Nebraska.
Right. You saw drops.
And then a couple of those early on really hurt the stat line for Sean Clifford. He was plagued early, first quarter by drops. After that, it was just him besides his final drive.
Right. So it wasn't, I mean, what you see is a lot of the issues that Nebraska has are just issues that teams around the country have that aren't Ohio State, that aren't, Alabama and Georgia. I mean, Penn State, while it was a great win, was underwhelming.
Yes.
Now, as far as Nebraska goes, people are going to say, are you guys ever going to talk about Nebraska?
Yes,
plays.
We are.
Have we got any of that on the text line? That Nebraska plays tomorrow at 2:30, and this to me is I will call it a character game. This Frost keeps saying that this team is tight knit. He doesn't worry about the culture. He doesn't worry about effort, anything like that. This is a character game. There's no doubt that there was some fatigue this week. There had to be. And if there's physical fatigue, that can lead to mental fatigue, or those two tend to go hand in hand.
They do.
And if you're not sharp in meetings, for instance, if you don't fully grasp every mental detail, that can show up on Saturdays. Now let's see what that looks like. And let's see what the hunger level is. They were shell-shocked. I think I said it yesterday on the show. I was really struck this week by seeing some players, and they clearly were, I would say, shell-shocked. And I know what you're going to say. Well, of course they expected to beat Northwestern. Yeah, there's levels of that, though. They were really confident going into that game. And they lost, and the locker room was very rough. Yeah. It was quiet. There were tears. And now they got to come out of that. They got to come out of it. And I think yesterday probably, and today are big days for that. So North Dakota comes in here. You want to see Nebraska be sharp and hungry, Right.
Here's a couple quotes. I don't have audio, but I'll read them for you from Scott Frost.
Scott Frost yesterday.
Yes.
Only about a 3-minute media.
That's all it
appearance.
was. It was 3.
Yeah, it was under 5.
Okay, so these are probably all the quotes you heard then from yesterday from Scott Frost about the confidence. He says, "I think the confidence is there. I think they know what kind of team they have. It's up to us to go out and prove it. I didn't see anything other than motivated kids trying to get better at practice."
Okay.
This week also said regarding the blocking out the outside noise, negativity. This is quote, "All you can do is work as hard as you can and do the right things. I think our kids know that. I try to share that with the kids as much as they can. If they have a chip on their shoulder, I think that's a good thing for us."
Yeah, that can be good. That can be very good, actually.
It says also that Travis Vokalek is, quote, getting close and is day to day.
Yeah, I think he's going to be day to day for a while. Okay.
How long is a while?
I don't know.
Omar Manning had a good week of practice, apparently. Expect to see him on
I
Saturday.
think I'm always taken aback by people who push back on the notion that he could be a very much a difference maker for this offense. He's a big, talented receiver. Goes up and gets the ball well, tough after the catch. I get it. Manning has drawn criticism even from Mickey Joseph about not practicing enough. I understand all that, but I know this. When I see him line up, well, let's put it this way. I always do this. I do this all the time. I always think in terms of being a defensive coordinator and offensive coordinator. And if I'm a defensive coordinator and I'm watching Nebraska film and I see Manning, I say, what is that? That's
Not who, but what is that?
That is 6'4", 225 out there. And he can run after the catch. I just want to see a player like that squeeze all of his talent.
Right. It'd be nice to see Omar have a breakout at some point.
This would be a great weekend.
We thought maybe last year he had a nice touchdown against Oklahoma. It was a beautiful catch.
Yeah.
Beautiful catch in the end zone. Maybe it's the spark to get him going.
Right.
It just wasn't really the spark.
Well, he had 24 catches last year. He's the leading returning receiver for that team.
And that's 2 catches per game.
Right.
Which is not exactly explosive.
It's not like he didn't do anything.
No, he did. But when you have the size that you just mentioned there, and the ability to break tackles and get yards after the catch, I want to see someone that. Charlie Jones had half the catches that Omar Manning had last year in one game last night. 12 catches.
I just caught myself.
Now he's not that type of receiver to go. He's not a 12 catch a game type of receiver crossing the middle.
Not necessarily.
But can he get 4 to 5 possibly in a game?
I catch myself doing something. I just caught myself doing something. I just caught myself about to say they got to get Grant going. They don't have to, I guess. I said that going into the Northwestern game. Early on, Jay asked me on the pregame show, what does Nebraska need to do early? And I said, establish the run. They didn't do that, and they scored, right?
Yes.
They didn't establish the run, really, on that
but
first
I
drive.
don't think you can live that way a lot. Like, I think, again, Purdue, we just talked about Purdue. Purdue didn't establish the run, and they blew a game that they had a chance to win late. They just didn't melt the clock. They chose not to. It was their own choice. They didn't even try.
Yeah. I want to see them get that running game going. I just don't know if they have to. See, I got to quit this. You don't want to go against your convictions. I think Scott has to be mindful of that. Okay, so now I'm doing a 180. I think you have to try to get that going. At least to a certain extent. I'm not suggesting that Nebraska has to run the ball 60% of the time.
You need to have the defense respect the run game, so play action actually hits, right?
Yeah, and you just don't. It just doesn't become a quick passing game that defines you, right?
By the way, before we get to Derek Bombeck, I thought this was funny. Yeah, he's here. Recall this offseason, we talked a lot about Pat Narduzzi's comments about Mark Whipple in the offense. And by the way, Pitt was 11-2. Won the ACC and had a Heisman Trophy quarterback contender. So, wow, what a horrible thing it was for Mark Whipple to throw the ball as much as he did. Last night, I was looking at their ratio.
Okay.
Now, they beat West Virginia because I didn't say this yet, but West Virginia, I forget who the receiver was, but that receiver might not make it back to West Virginia. Keaton Slovis, it was 31-all. Slovis goes to a wide-open receiver. Well, I'm talking wide open, and it's a perfect pass. And the receiver goes to catch it. He goes, whoop, up in the air, pick 6. Pitt wins 38-31.
He botches it.
Yeah, I mean,
the receiver.
This is like, yeah, I mean, you couldn't have an easier catch and a guaranteed yardage than this. It was perfectly thrown. It wasn't a duck. It was just dropped. Anyways, my point, Sip, on this. Pittsburgh. They win the game 38-31. The ratio of run to pass, 39 rushes, 24 pass. But get this. But get this. But get this. If I'm Mark Whipple, I'm going like this. Yes.
Yeah.
Here's the stats on the rushes. 39 carries for 76 yards and 1.9 yards per carry average. So Whipple's saying, yeah, is that what you want? Narduzzi, you want to run the ball for 1.9 yards a carry? Congrats on your win on the gift pick 6. But I'm not an idiot. Buddy. I'm speaking for Mark Whipple right now.
That's interesting.
Was that fair?
Absolutely.
And by the way, Keaton Slovis was just fine. The quarterback, of course, the USC transfer, 16-24, 308. I mean, he had 12.8 yards of reception, a completion, 1 touchdown, no picks.
Hey, back to Nebraska elements. I think you'll continue to see A.J. Allen. Grant will be the starter. I don't know what you'll see with Ramirez. It sounds like they want to get him in, but I think you're going to see more Gabe Irvin in this game. You're going to see a lot of Tivamaga Clements, an inside linebacker. I think that Nick Henrich, he injured his right hand against Northwestern. Sean Callahan of Husker Online looked back at our photos. During the first half, his hand was fine. Then he had a cast on his right hand during the second half. I do not think you'll see Henrich this week, okay? So that's what I'm saying. You're going to see a Tivamaga Clements.
How do you feel about his
He's a senior.
ability?
He's a senior. I like his body type because he's a bigger inside linebacker, and that's what I just like bigger inside linebackers. The other thing, hey, can I add something interesting? You remember Chris Walker?
I do.
Lincoln East graduate. How about Chris Walker? Never played a down at Nebraska. He worked over the spring as a volunteer grad assistant in the Nebraska weight room, but learned in June that the position would be unpaid. Entered his name in the transfer portal. This weekend, he will be the starting left tackle for Montana, the third ranked Grizzlies. How about that?
Maybe
Chris Walker.
Left tackle. He played defensive line, didn't he?
Yeah, he played both. He's a lineman.
He'll probably be
starting
pro somehow. I'm sure he'll probably become a pro.
You're so cynical.
I am cynical.
Starting left tackle
for
the third-ranked Montana Grizzlies. Hello. And by the way, former Husker A.J. Forbes is Montana's starting center, Bellevue native. Hello. Congratulations to Chris Walker.
I think one last thing. Last night, I don't have the score pulled up, but North Alabama, Noah Walters is out there, true freshman. He got in the game. He delivered a game-tying touchdown late. True, his first ever time playing.
Stuff's going on.
Noah Walters, only 6 of 13, 64 yards, a touchdown and a pick, but he got them.
Got in there.
It's a true freshman's first ever game.
Nice.
From Lincoln East. There you go. There's your
football talk for you.
Football talk about.
Well, it's football season.
Chris Walker, the starting left tackle, at a program that Nebraska's two of their best players recently have come from Montana. Samari Toure and Brian Boom Sheeny.
Yeah, how about Toure? Made the Packers.
Watch Chris Walker become a pro. Just freaking watch it. Derek Bombeck is next in Song of the Day on Early Break on the Ticket.
Gaina Trucking is hiring CDL Class A and B drivers. Gaina Trucking guarantees a 40-hour work week year-round, and their strong team culture makes it not a job, but a career. Gaina Trucking offers health, vision, and dental insurance, 401k with company match, an employee assistance program, and other bonus programs. Build a better career today with great team culture at Gaina Trucking. Learn more and apply today at GainaTrucking.com.
The Labor Day savings event is going on now at Schaefer's. Take advantage of store-wide savings, interest-free financing, and special Labor Day cashback rebates. With LG, you can redo, replace, or upgrade all your appliances and get up to $300 in rebates, plus an additional 10% in savings from LG on qualified purchases. Includes kitchen appliances and LG laundry pairs. Hurry in for the Labor Day savings event going on now at Schaefer's, 48th and R, Lincoln.
It's tailgate season. Why would you bounce around from place to place for all your beverage needs when you could have it all in one place? Wine, Beer, and Spirits has everything for your parties with their 3 locations in Lincoln, Grand Island, and Omaha. It's the largest liquor store in the state, and here's the best part. You can get a drink from their bar and walk around with it as you shop for all your tailgate necessities. Locally owned and operated, it's Wine, Beer, and Spirits on North 27th Street in Lincoln.
When you were a kid, clubs were cool. Robotics club, or space club, and stuff like that. But what do adults get? Book clubs and quilting clubs? No, forget that. How about a margarita club? Get to Upside Bar and Lounge and join the best club in town. 10 flavors of margaritas like Maui Wowie, burnt pineapple, and mango tango. Try all 10 of them and receive your own souvenir margarita glass. Make it your new Monday night tradition. $4 margaritas and $4 taco baskets. Grab the crew and head on over Monday nights or any night. Upside Bar and Lounge at 29th and Pine Lake.
Wow. Did you ever save me money on my car?
Yes, that's why our customers keep coming back.
How do you do it, friendly car dealer ?
We simply have low overhead and high trade-in values. The next line's yours.
Oh.
Ready for something better? Mullen Motors is a no-hassle, no-pressure dealership with financing available. Check out the inventory at MikeMullenMotors.com.
No taglines, just quality vehicles. Mullen Motors.
Get an immediate look back at the game from the people who know it best. It's the Tanner's post-game show and the final word live from Tanner's Bar and Grill at 30th and Yankee Hill. Hear from former players and national champions like Jay Foreman, Rashawn Jackson, and Aaron Davis and see what they saw in that day's game. It's the Tanner's post-game show and the final word. Live and in person, home or away at Tanner's Bar and Grill, brought to you by Bauer Infrastructure. Only here on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com. Tune in to the Teammates Mentoring Hour each Wednesday from 6 to 7 p.m. on 93.7 The Ticket. Hear stories from the program started by Tom and Nancy Osborne and how it's changed mentors and mentees' lives and how you can be involved. The Teammates Mentoring Hour, Wednesday nights from 6 to 7 o'clock on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
In today's day and age, people are trying to do more and more projects by themselves. That might be better on the wallet, but it can also lead to painful sounds like this. Ow. Poor guy, trying to do wiring all by himself. Let's have another listen. It's just not worth it. Don't hurt yourself or make things worse than they are already. For any of your electric needs, call Joe at Ambition Electric today at 402-217-3415 or go to ambitionelectric.com.
We stand on the shoulders of women who came before us.
Women who fought for their own financial futures.
And now it's our turn.
Join us. Visit WeSaySaveIt.org and take control of your financial future by saving for retirement.
A message from AARP and the Ad Council.
You love to bash his sports takes.
Now, will you feel like an idiot if you're
No,
a big tough?
never feel like an
if
idiot.
you're a big tough guy this morning,
But you really love to voice your displeasure for his music choices.
he stumbled on an issue that I did not think would generate this much passion and discussion.
It's time for Jake's questionable song of the day on Early Break on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
I promise the theme this week, 1976 has been my year all week long. That is also from 1976. Slow Ride by Foghat. 464-56851 is bad. 10 is good. Texture rating on the Sauter Heyman Jewelers Song of the Day. The very repetitive song, Slow Ride by Foghat today, your song of the day, 464-56851 is bad, 10 is good, texture rating on the Sauter Heyman Jewelers song of the day.
I'm sorry, Jake. I'm sort of drifting off. Did you say that was 76?
That
again?
was 1976.
God,
I tried to
76.
make a theme. Now Rick
Thank
did a
you.
different song yesterday,
Yes.
but my 4 songs this week were 1976
Yeah,
for no reason at all. Just
kind of rando, but I think what you're illustrating is 76 was
it's good music.
incredible music.
Good music.
Year. Yeah, I'm still gonna look that up at some point. All right, yeah, not you didn't really.
They didn't play country.
You didn't pander to our guest.
No R&B. No
I
country.
almost kind of wish you would have. Now, I mean, that's an okay song. It's never done a lot for me. It's not particularly creative. You're not getting a big
Very
score here.
repetitive here.
Yeah, 6. I'll say 6.
All right, we're joined in the studio by Derek Bombeck of the Lincoln Convention and Visitors Bureau. Good morning, Derek.
Good morning, gentlemen.
Hi, Derek.
Yeah, I did not. You see, you've told me in the past, stop catering to me. That was not catered at all to you.
Yeah,
friend.
I didn't like it. Well, I mean, not
he's so comfortable now.
No, he's ready.
But here's the thing. I mean,
for
for 3.5+ years, you played R&B or country
I
every day,
catered.
so I was always kind of excited. Even if it was a bad song, I still enjoyed it. I did not enjoy that one.
You told me to stop that.
That's why you're going to get lower scores now.
How many times would you say you've heard that song, Derek?
Several hundred.
Yeah,
I'd just go to 1,000 probably.
Yeah. So I mean, you get a 5.5.
Okay.
So are you saying you want me to go back to country and
It all
R&B? Because
depends.
when you ask for it to go away and it does, Derek, it's like it's just you
It's
kind of
true.
miss what you
It's true.
had.
Yeah. The grass
like
isn't
this
always
one.
greener.
Yeah.
Well, Gus.
Gus
Gus.
awake over there. He was
Gus.
nodding off during the last segment.
Was he?
Gus is dead.
All right, we can
Look
move
at- he's
on.
not even
Just
listening to us.
All right.
He's actually listening to us over there.
God, he's just
Still had to
casual.
turn around.
Our producer doesn't listen to the show. It's interesting.
Derek, before we get into what's going on, hey, was the garage open for business last night?
Yeah, last night. Yeah, last night we only had about 4 or 5 people. For the game last week, we had about 35 people. It was pretty busy. So
35 people.
Light crowd last
I mean,
night.
with kids included
Yeah,
and stuff.
okay.
So
Light crowd last night.
light crowd. Well, you to get home late from coaching soccer, you can't invite the whole neighborhood over. So
Did you walk away scared of Penn State and Purdue, or like me, a little bit underwhelmed?
Wow.
well, I wouldn't say underwhelmed because it was a fun game to watch.
It was,
but
yeah.
our game wasn't exactly exhilarating either. So it's just we'll see what happens when we meet some of these fellow conference foes.
Your game, your soccer game, or the Nebraska game?
No, we're really good at soccer.
Are you really? Was that exhilarating?
That
They should have that on ESPN.
Yeah, come on, ESPN. We'll find it.
All right, Derek Bombeck of the Lincoln Convention and Visitors Bureau. is with
Yes,
us.
Derek, let's get to what's ahead this weekend and upcoming. The 2022 SCCA Pro Solo Championship.
Yes, the Sports Car Club of America is back, and several hundred of their drivers will be participating this weekend in the 2022 Pro Solo National Championships. Each driver is trying to earn points to qualify for actually the Nationals. They're going to take place September 6th right here in Lincoln. So come enjoy the competition at Lincoln's Air Park. The event takes place Friday through Sunday and is free to the public.
Right.
All right.
This is Sunday. Up next, Derek, the archery hike.
Yes, a unique event for Lincoln. Come out to the Nebraska Outdoor Education Center this Saturday for a one-of-a-kind experience. All participants are going to take a guided hike through their archery field course. It'll be about a 1-mile hike, making stops at about 10 different archery stations to take aim at fun targets. No experience is necessary. Beginners are definitely welcome. So the event starts at 12 o'clock and it's $10 a person.
That sounds like a
What do you
very,
think?
very. I mean, it just sounds like a good thing to do to me.
You ever done archery at all?
No, but it sounds like something that could enhance your life.
I think so. I should get a bow,
God, please don't.
Well, like, use it.
Just a crossbow,
I'm not
compound bow. What are we
You'd
talking
probably be
here?
pretty good at it.
I don't know.
Jake, you sell yourself short on a lot of things. I bet you'd be really good
Why?
at that because you're athletic. I mean,
Does
you.
I play golf?
I think it's
Does
more
that
about
help?
a steady hand as opposed to being
I
athletic.
think
but
he's sort of steady.
I play tennis. Does that help my archery
Yeah,
at all? No?
yeah. You got good. Is it eye-hand coordination? Yeah, of course it is. Yeah, you got that.
Okay.
You'd be good at it.
we should go have just a nice little good old-fashioned archery shoot-off one
should.
It'd be
day.
kind of fun to do
See
that.
how we do that.
I think doing things like that. I wish I would do more stuff like that.
Absolutely.
Maybe I should just skip the game.
Yeah, let's just go do it.
The story's going to write itself.
Yeah.
Right, let's do that.
Okay, we have a circus in town. Is that what we're talking about?
Well,
The
in the
C&M
county.
Circus. The C&M Circus.
Yes, come and join an entertaining day under the big top with the whole family. The C&M Circus is coming to Hickman this Sunday with shows at 2 and 4:30. The two shows will be performed under a real circus big top. Shows are going to feature big cats, aerialists, horses, daredevils, and much more. The event is at the Hickman Main City Park, so
Man,
come check that out.
there's a circus in town in Hickman. Yeah.
Check that one out.
Yeah, C&M Circus. Okay.
And last but not least, Derek, the Bites, Bikes, and Bison.
Yes, always a fun event for Lincoln. The Bites, Bikes, and Bison is the annual fundraiser for the Lincoln Pioneers Park Nature Center. The event takes riders through Pioneers Park and takes them into downtown Lincoln, where different food and drink specials await them at several popular destinations. The event is Sunday, September 11th, beginning at 11:30. Cost is $30 per rider, and kids 12 and under are free. So
I have done this ride before. It is fun.
yeah,
It was a
I
fun
talked
time.
about it a year or two ago,
I
and you did it.
It was fun. It was a bye weekend for Nebraska.
Always
I
things going
participated.
on. Always things going on. It's a good idea to bring Derek in here.
I know. Derek's here to inform us of good things happening
Yeah.
in the area. In Lincoln,
Good
and the
things
surrounding
happening
area.
in the area. What's your speaking of that? Do you think good things will happen in Memorial Stadium on Saturday afternoon?
They sure better.
Would you touch a
That
22
sounds
point
ominous.
spread?
What's that?
Would you touch a 22-point spread for Nebraska?
I think so.
I would not. We will give our predictions
The
later.
eternal optimist. I haven't even thought about a score yet, though. So
Haven't you?
No.
Why have you not thought about that? There's got a lot going on.
So much going on. Well, after Jake bailed on me in the golf
I
tournament this
bailed.
Monday, I've been struggling to find partners. So.
Derek asked me to play golf in a tournament.
I texted him in Ireland, which I didn't want to do, but I'm like, that's golf. He'll want to do it. So
Fine on that.
Yeah, I responded quickly. Right away.
Yeah,
You know the phone.
nothing going on.
The phone thing in Ireland. We worried about that way too much. It was like you were in Central
Yeah,
City.
well, that's because I
mean,
turned on my data there.
Yeah.
So you could text me whenever.
Yeah, there
I
was
in
no
Scotland,
issue.
I was not reachable. all
You
the
guys
time.
worried about a lot going over to Ireland, by the way. I mean, some of the talks about what are we going to eat there?
Yeah, it was not a
is there food?
Lots of restaurants in Ireland.
Yeah,
Can't confirm.
Shocking, right? City of 500,000 people has a couple.
No,
of
it's
restaurants.
1.25
It's not,
million.
it is not a third world country.
It's 1.25 million. Dublin. Dublin. 1.25.
The internet says differently.
No, I looked it up.
Is that the suburbs though? Maybe.
Maybe.
Yeah.
It's
Inner
the,
city, yeah.
the burbs.
Yeah.
1.5.
Anyway, no, it was yeah.
Great experience.
It
You'll go
was.
back, yeah.
I when I go back, I don't know
there,
about that.
other
would go
Europe,
back.
European places or Asia.
You ever go back across the pond?
Let me think about
You had
that.
a good trip. Why would you not want to go again?
That's a good question. I haven't pondered it.
You've got time
Thank you.
to ponder.
Yeah.
Derek,
Thank you.
Tons.
you.
So Derek
Ton.
Bombeck, Lincoln Convention and Visitors Bureau. Top of the hour. Next, I want to know how confident are you in Nebraska to have a good performance tomorrow? Next, an early break in the ticket.
This is Lincoln's home for sports talk on the FM dial. Also online at theticketfm.com. On the internet. KNTK FM Firth, 93.7 The Ticket.
Happy New Year! That's months away. Just practicing. And I entered the Nebraska Lottery's Powerball First Millionaire of the Year promotion through September 12th. Buy a Powerball with Power Play ticket and enter the voucher number to win a trip to New York City for New Year's Eve 2022 and a chance at $1 million. Oh, that's great. Got another horn? Just a noisemaker. Yeah, that'll do.
Powerball top prize odds 1 in 292 million. Today's play of the day comes from Nebraska. We pick it up with the local sports announcer at a Nebraska lottery retailer.
Dave enters the store. He makes a move to the checkout counter. Looks like he's going to pass. Yes, he's passing the clerk a few dollars. The clerk takes the handoff and spins around. It looks like he's placed the scratch tickets on the counter, and now Dave has them in his hand. It's the old Scratcherooski. He scratches left. He scratches right. Oh, my! He's done it! Dave has scored a bundle of cash.
Play is good. Go play. Odds vary by game.
If you need to sell equipment and trucks, Ritchie Brothers' new Lincoln Satellite Yard lets you free up space at your property and get local access to all Ritchie Brothers auctions. Drop your equipment off and sell it online at any Ritchie Brothers auction, Iron Planet, or via Marketplace E. The yard is at 8801 US 6 Lincoln. It's secure and makes for easy in-person buyer inspections and pickup. Take advantage of this yard to sell at Ritchie Brothers' Great Plains Regional Auction, September 15th and 16th. For details, visit rbauction.com/Lincoln.
Hey, it's Sean Callahan, and football season is here, and there is one place that has all the games, plus great food and beer specials. Tanner's Bar and Grill at 30th and Yankee Hill. Whether it's Thursday night football, college football Saturdays, NFL Sundays, or Monday night football, there's a great view of the game from any seat with different food and drink specials every night. Try the Blue Ribbon Reuben Sandwich or the Prime Rib French Dip or any of their famous chicken wings. That's Tanner's Bar and Grill at 30th and Yankee Hill.
Explain to me again why we're sleeping on the ground.
Because we're thramping, thrift camping. It's saving us money and getting us closer to nature.
But we don't need to thramp. I just combined our home and auto insurance with our State Farm agent, so we have a rate that fits our budget.
All right. Do you think our agent can bring us an air mattress?
Call your local State Farm agent, Vinny Krekak, at 402-474-1173.
Individual premiums and budgets will vary by customer. All applicants subject to State Farm underwriting requirements.
Parents, now is the time to get your kids into one of the fastest growing sports in the Midwest, lacrosse. Signups are happening now for the Junior Rampage League fall season. Kids ages 6 to 14 are invited to join, with teams available for both first-time and experienced players. The focus will be on skill development with scrimmages throughout the fall. For more information, head to LincolnLAX.net. Don't miss out on your chance to join the growing lacrosse movement with the Junior Rampage. Register today at LincolnLAX.net. The season starts September 10th.
There's a lot of realtors in Lincoln, but don't get overwhelmed by all the names. Ben Bleicher with Professional Realtor Group at Berkshire Hathaway Ambassador Real Estate is your go-to option when buying or selling residential and commercial property. Ben's team offers unbeatable customer service and promises to make the buying and selling process as stress-free as possible. Call Ben today at 402-419-6309 for all your real estate needs. Ben Bleicher with Professional Realty Group at Berkshire Hathaway Ambassador Real Estate. No pressure, just professionalism.
Tune in to the Teammates Mentoring Hour each Wednesday from 6 to 7 p.m. on 93.7 The Ticket. Hear stories from the program started by Tom and Nancy Osborne and how it's changed mentors and mentees' lives and how you can be involved. The Teammates Mentoring Hour, Wednesday nights from 6 to 7 o'clock on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Hey, buying a used vehicle sucks, and the biggest problem is who can you trust? Hey, this is Carl from Price Right Auto out here at West O Street in Lincoln. Here's what customers have told us they want from us. They want transparent pricing with no games. We have all our pricing on our website, plus a Carfax report. We don't want to buy a lemon. We include a 3-month warranty on all of our vehicles. We don't want to play games. Just make it simple. You saw that with non-commissioned salespeople. Can you trust us? Just check out our Google reviews. Again, this is Carl from Price Right Auto in West O. Check us out at pricerightauto.com.
93.7 The Ticket, Fox, KFXL weather. Brought to you by Bryant Air Conditioning, Heating, Electrical, and Plumbing.
Another hot day on the way for your Friday, topping out at 96, a south wind at around 10 to 15. We will watch for scattered thunderstorms developing along a cool front late this afternoon into this evening. The low tonight down to 63, much more comfortable tomorrow with a high of 84. I'm meteorologist Tim Wright for 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Get a lot of advice about self-care these days, but one of the most important self-care steps we can take is making sure we're financially secure later in life. For small steps you can take to save for retirement, visit WeSaySaveIt.org. A message from AARP and the Ad Council.
Wake up, Lincoln.
Come on, it's 6 o'clock. Rise and shine, rise and shine.
It's time for Early Break with Sip and Jake, brought to you by Gaina Trucking. Live from the Coppel Chevrolet GMC studios in the heart of Lincoln, America. Here's 93.7 The Ticket's Jake Sorensen.
Did seem kind of meh.
And Steve Sipple.
Surprisingly good.
This is Early Break with Sip and Jake, sponsored by Gaina Trucking.
Welcome back to Hour 2 on a Friday. Steve Sipple, Jake Sorensen, Early Break, fun show so far. You got the podcast at theticketfm.com. You can always call or text us at 402-464-5685. Watch and comment on Facebook, Twitch, YouTube, and Twitter. The show, as always, sponsored by Gaina Trucking. Check out their current job openings at GainaTrucking.com. What are you laughing about?
I was thinking that if this Nebraska football season goes really bad and we have to try to push through the season, I'm going to do that thing where I go back to telling more jokes.
Are we going to make bird noises again?
No, there's going to be clean jokes more often on the show.
Do I have to rate these jokes? How do we rate these jokes?
My doctor says,
oh, no.
My doctor's concerned because I can't stop telling airport jokes. He says it's terminal.
No. The laughter you heard was not me. That was Sip at his own joke.
If Nebraska's season goes bad, there's gonna be more of that. Okay. Okay.
Are we talking about a joke of the day or jokes?
Jokes, plural.
Of the day?
Plural. We're going to keep it light. I will tell clean jokes like that one.
Thank you. I don't want to use the dump button in all this.
No, you won't need the dump button because I am of the mind, and I have been for many, many, many years, that the best jokes, the most witty jokes are clean jokes. Dirty jokes are too easy.
Yeah, come on.
They're too easy.
Yeah.
I mean,
I'm with you on that. I respect that take.
Clean jokes are much better, and I get like the one I just told is hilarious.
You laughed at it. I didn't.
Okay, now Tim, hold on.
Yeah,
we're going to talk about Nebraska, North Dakota, which is a 2:30 kickoff. I don't think Nebraska covers. I think that.
Okay, hang on. The spread, for those who didn't know, the spread is Nebraska a 22-point favorite.
We'll get to our predictions later, but I think the hangover could be real here. I think, North Dakota coming in here with, essentially this is a bowl game for North Dakota. We all know that. They're going to cut loose, and they can afford to.
Yeah.
Nebraska's got all the pressure on them, of course. And I don't think Nebraska's going to lose the game. And again, we'll get to that, but I'm going with, this is a character game for Nebraska. You're coming off a tough trip, a tough loss. This is where your leaders really have to lead. Really have to lead. You're not going to have one of them, by the way. You're not going to probably have Nick Henrich in this game. I'd be shocked if you see Nick Henrich suited up on Saturday.
So your other leaders, your captains, Caleb Tanner was shell-shocked on Monday.
A little bit in the press conference.
Garrett Nelson,
that was on
Tuesday.
Was that Tuesday? Yeah, it's Tuesday. You're right.
Garrett Nelson after the game was shell-shocked.
Yeah.
It's up to those guys. I mean, those are team leaders. You're the ones that you need to help this team
Vokalek's
bounce
hurt.
back.
Vokalek's hurt.
So,
no, I don't know. I don't think you're going to see Vokalek. I don't know. I mean, I'm not 100% sure on that. But hey, Jake, this winds back. A lot of this winds back to Casey. And I feel good about that picture. Casey represents stability to me. And Casey's not going to, I don't think Casey's going to put you in a precarious situation against North Dakota by gifting them a 10 points because of turnovers. I don't think that is going to be that type of quarterback. He didn't show that at Texas. I really like that picture of him in Dublin. He didn't lose his mind. That was a tough assignment going to Dublin, and being the first-time starter for Nebraska and all of that entails. And he handled it extremely well, I thought. Again, I know what happened late. I don't think those interceptions were bad. I watched
they
the
weren't
second
egregious, right?
They were catchable.
Like Sean Clifford's pick last night was egregious to the fullest.
You need to get off Clifford, okay?
I'm just making comparisons of interceptions.
Yeah,
Casey's he had two. They were both fine.
Right.
Sean Clifford's was not fine. It was terrible in return for 6.
Okay, let's see what Tim says.
464-5685. Tim, you're on early break. Go ahead.
Good morning, guys.
Hey, Tim, nice to hear from you.
Hey, it's pretty cool to be back in the groove, right? We got Thursday night football from now on. We're going to get our Saturday fill.
Yeah.
We do got a game Sunday night, also a college game Sunday night and Monday night too. So that'll move us right into next week when the NFL starts. But
beautiful.
Hey guys, so I'm putting together some thoughts. Okay, because I was sitting down, I'm watching the games last night. So here's what I'm thinking. And I'm curious to hear what you guys think about this. So I agree with you, Steve, that or should I call you Zip?
Zip.
I agree that I think our offense is going to be okay. I don't know how much Scott's going to get involved with trying to influence what he would like to see us do, but I think offensively we're going to be okay. I think Casey had to try to put the team on his shoulders because defensively we weren't stopping anybody.
Right.
They were moving the ball at will on us. So Casey felt the pressure. He felt like he needed to take that game over late in the game. Like you guys said, the one pick wasn't his fault. It hit the receiver in the hands. It flipped off. That stuff happens in football. That's where you expect your offense to score other times and to move the ball and your defense to stop teams. So when that stuff does happen, you can overcome it. Here's what I'm thinking, guys. We are not blowing teams out like
Okay.
we used to do back in the day.
Right.
We used to just continuously pump guys in and out. We could constantly rotate guys because we had those sufficient leads. We could get our second and third stringers in there. We could get those guys playing time. We're not getting those leads anymore, so we're not getting any experience to our guys, and it's showing. I think our defense is going to come along, but here's what happened, guys. This is just my thought. I'm curious to hear what you guys think. Defensively, we lost a lot of key pieces because our defense was our strong point last year. I think our special teams are back this year. Defense is going to take a little bit of time to adjust because these guys are new to the scheme. Okay, they're not the guys we had last year. Problem is, guys. Okay, so let's say we go into these next two games. Let's say whether we cover the spread or not. I mean, are you serious? We're only favored by 3 touchdowns. I mean, that's kind of weak if you think about it. We're supposed to be Nebraska. But whatever. So let's get these next 2 games out of the way. Are we going to be ready after these 2 softies to take on Oklahoma? I don't know how good Oklahoma is, but you got to figure Venables is going to preach defense because that's where he's good at. And he's probably going to want to run the ball. Because if you can just run the ball against Nebraska right now, it looks like you're going to be successful. And a good way to build your offense and get your new quarterback into transition is to run the ball. Give them a comfort blanket. So, that's my take, guys. I just don't think we've had the blowouts to get the experience to build our guys, to rotate them, to look like we used to. So I don't, when we're only, practicing full go 2 or 3 times out of the full 20-some practices, that's not good, So when your guys get in there and they have no experience into these games early in the season, I think we see the results. So thanks, guys.
Thank
you.
Thank you, Tim.
Okay, I agree with Tim on the defensive conversation about we probably glossed over a little bit too much the amount of talent Nebraska lost defensively. JoJo Domann makes the Indianapolis Colts 53 man roster. Cam Taylor-Britt's a 2nd-round pick. The 2 safeties, Markel Dismuke and Dante Williams, were players you could take for granted, but they were very stable.
Ben Stilley's on the Dolphins practice squad.
Thank you.
And almost made the roster.
Thank you.
Nearly made the roster.
Thank you. Stilley made plays for Nebraska.
Damian Daniels was clogged at the middle for Nebraska.
Right.
Not on the roster right now in the NFL, but was a solid player.
Tim is right. They lost a lot. Now, what I would say, Tim and Jake and everybody, one thing I know, and it's natural to do this, but I think you have to be careful, is we see one game, okay, Nebraska versus Northwestern, and then we make all these sort of declarative statements that this is what Nebraska is, not leaving open the possibility that they're going to get better at spots.
Yeah. Well, that's
Right?
that's the problem when you've been losing so much, is we go right to the negatives.
Right to the negatives, but I think you just have to leave open the possibility that, for instance, the offensive line, which played together for the first time, is going to make big jumps going forward. That it's not what we saw is not necessarily exactly what that unit is, just because it was one game. Same with the defense. Yeah, they didn't play well, but it doesn't mean they're not going to play well the rest of the season.
No, it doesn't. You're right. I mean, one game does not define your season.
That doesn't have to. We tend to do that.
But for a fan base that's on edge completely, and you lose your first game to a team that you murdered last year,
right?
You're going to go right to the negatives. But you're right. You hope that, as Scott Frost said, these guys can block out the noise, stay focused, stay confident in what they have, and just prove people wrong week by week by week. Again, I've been saying I want to be wrong about this team, that this is going to be different this year, and they can go prove it. But they have to go do it before anybody really believes that they can be that team.
Here's the thing, and I know this isn't intangible, so it's kind of hard to grasp because of that. I would like to see Nebraska assume, like you always call it an underdog mentality. I guess that's an okay.
You have to be that.
I want to see a scrappy team.
Yes.
I want to see Nebraska play like its backs are against the wall, which I think it did a lot of the time against Northwestern. I don't think that the effort wasn't bad against Northwestern.
I never thought effort was a problem.
Right.
Never
They just started to get Nebraska's defensive front 7 began to get pushed around late in that game. Now, Northwestern ran 85 plays. So you have to allow for that. I'm not being an apologist here, but you have to allow for the fact that, it probably some of those guys wore down. 85 plays. You don't want the opponent running 85 plays, Jake. I mean, that's not what you want, because your interior guys, your big horses are going to wear down a little bit. So, but that's on them. That's on them. They got to get off the field on third down. Okay.
Well,
now we're also talking, some of the narrative this week was about tempo and when to rev up the offense and when not to, and the fine line and all that. I didn't think Nebraska, I thought they handled that well. I would say to the defense, you got to get off the field on third down. If you want to rest, get off the field.
Well, yesterday you saw Pat Fitzgerald post on Twitter. He says, finished the game with 19 straight runs and still piled up 528 yards of offense. Go Cats. I mean, yeah.
Woo, Fitz.
Say
that again. What did he tweet?
Pat Fitzgerald, the head coach, this is his official account, says finished the game with 19 straight runs and still piled up 528 yards of offense. Hashtag go Cats.
That's pretty.
Think about the confidence that, I mean, you just ran out the clock like you intended to with 19 straight runs, still had 500 plus yards of offense, and you won the game.
God dang, I'll tell you something right now, Jake.
And they get a week off to gloat.
If you are Ty Robinson, Colton Feast, Stephon Wynn, Devin Drew, Luke Reimer, Nash Hutmacher, Luke Reimer, O'Shawn Mathis, Garrett Nelson, Caleb Tanner. If you read that, man, I would think that would motivate the hell out of you. Right?
Yeah.
Look at the Northwestern coach, guys. We can't let that happen.
Twitter account.
We can't let that happen again. Motivation should not be an issue at all for Nebraska. They need to have the mentality this week that we have a lot to prove to people. And most importantly, ourselves. I mean, okay, they were shell-shocked coming out of there. You got to get right. And they were shell-shocked because they were very confident. Don't lose your confidence. You played a tough game. I mean, it's a bad loss. You thought you're going to win, but that was the first game. You got a lot of time to prove yourselves now, but it's got to start now. You cannot look at North Dakota like, hey, we're Nebraska. We're Nebraska.
That means nothing right now. You lost 7 straight games.
That's what I get back to.
Nebraska.
That's why I get back to the scrapper mentality. They got to enter this game with a scrapper not a we're a blue blood. We can just roll out the ball and beat North Dakota. No. That world is not.
I'm glad you joined my side of the equation.
Yeah, that's not the
embrace the underdog.
Yeah,
right now.
I guess
sucks. It sucks, buddy. Right now, you're an underdog. You have to be one. You got to act like one, and be scrappy, and pesky, and piss people off.
Yes, be scrappy because you're not overly talented. Nebraska's not overly talented. They're not. They have to be scrappy. And I hope that Eric Chinander really fosters that sort of mentality on defense. And I mean, it's more of don't you think it's more of a defensive discussion than an offensive discussion? I don't know if I want the offense to be scrappy. I mean, you got to execute on offense. Defense, it comes back to what Caleb Tanner said. Caleb Tanner spoke a lot of truth and just very common sense. He had a lot of good common sense messages. The big one being, we got to run to the ball. It's about running to the ball and tackling.
Yeah.
And we talk about the missed tackles, and Rick Kaczynski weighs in on our show all the time via the text line, the former Nebraska defensive line coach. And he says, yeah, it's about tackling and finishing, but it's also about rallying to the ball. So if one guy does miss a tackle, you got 2 guys there to clean it up.
So is it one thing to say? They have to. I got to see it this Saturday, though. I'm glad that they're aware of that. Now let's see it actually happen.
You want to see swarming to the ball. I mean, I've watched games from that press box for 30 years, and I love it. One thing I love in a football game is when I see a defense swarming to the ball. When you see 4, 5, 6, 7 guys on an outside pitch, and you see that defense with 7 guys over there, that's football. That's the way it's got to be. And they have to
think about
Caleb's right. You got to a lot of football's just running to the ball.
Well, swarming too. You get the chance of somebody punching the ball out.
Right.
It's not. You got 3 guys there to make a tackle. Can a 4th guy get in there and really just try to rip the ball out?
Yeah.
There's nothing wrong with it. Everything's positive about swarming.
That's something that on Saturday against North Dakota, that's the sort of thing that you can be mindful of and intent on and do it and pick up confidence from watching that film this coming Sunday. There's things that can happen in this game that are very meaningful. Now, the fan base, if Nebraska wins big, will just say, it's North Dakota, they're supposed to. But inside the film, the film doesn't lie. And when they watch it, if they do a good job, they can pick up confidence from that, and they need it. And I hope in the program that's the mentality they have. I think it is. I
hope so. Yeah. I mean, yeah, you're right. If they blow them out, don't just say, "Oh, it's North Dakota." Now, embrace it, celebrate that. They haven't blown anybody out since Northwestern of last year.
Right now, you can't.
Every win should be celebrated at this point. It sounds sad to say it.
No, it doesn't sound sad. It kind of sounds refreshing to me.
We haven't had it for a while. Right. Lee Sterling, the picks are coming in up next. Paramount Sports next, an early break of the ticket.
Join us this Friday from 4 to 6 p.m. at Cornhusker Bank at 84th and O for a tailgate to get ready for Nebraska's first home game. DP&J will be on air with a guest appearance by Larry the Cable Guy with free food and drink for the whole 2 hours. That's this Friday from 4 to 6 p.m. at Cornhusker Bank on 84th and O.
It's tailgate season. Why would you bounce around from place to place for all your beverage needs when you could have it all in one place? Wine, Beer, and Spirits has everything for your parties with their 3 locations in Lincoln, Grand Island, and Omaha. It's the largest liquor store in the state, and here's the best part. You can get a drink from their bar and walk around with it as you shop for all your tailgate necessities. Locally owned and operated, it's Wine, Beer, and Spirits on North 27th Street in Lincoln.
Action Plumbing, Heating, Air, and Electric brings exciting career opportunities for you or someone you know. They are now hiring plumbers, electricians, and HVAC techs and installers to continually build their professional team. They offer competitive pay and full benefits packages that include health, dental, vision, PTO, and 401k options. Action has created a positive team environment for over 50 years. Apply online at actionlincoln.com.
Hey, buying a used vehicle sucks, and the biggest problem is who can you trust? Hey, this is Carl from Price Right Auto out here at West O Street in Lincoln. Here's what customers have told us they want from us. They want transparent pricing with no games. We have all of our pricing on our website, plus a Carfax report. We don't want to buy a lemon. We include a 3-month warranty on all of our vehicles. We don't want to play games. Just make it simple. We saw that with non-commissioned salespeople. Can you trust us? Just check out our Google reviews. Again, this is Carl from Price Right Auto in West O. Check us out at pricerightauto.com.
Eustace Body Shop, where our customers send their friends. That's the greatest compliment we can receive. If you've been in an accident, we'll get you back in your vehicle as quickly as possible. Our technicians care about you and your family and repair your vehicle to factory standards. We handle your claim from start to finish and provide a free loaner car. Stop by for a free estimate. Eustace Body Shop, just south of 88th and Highway 2.
The most recommended Eustace Body Shop. That's who we are.
Problem gambling can destroy an individual's finances, relationships, physical, and mental health. If you or a loved one are struggling with addiction, contact Choices Treatment Center's 24-hour helpline at 402-476-2300. That's 402-476-2300.
Parents, now is the time to get your kids into one of the fastest growing sports in the Midwest, lacrosse. Signups are happening now for the Junior Rampage League fall season. Kids ages 6 to 14 are invited to join, with teams available for both first-time and experienced players. The focus will be on skill development with scrimmages throughout the fall. For more information, head to LincolnLAX.net. Don't miss out on your chance to join the growing lacrosse movement with the Junior Rampage. Register today at LincolnLAX.net. The season starts September 10th.
It's tailgate season. Why would you bounce around from place to place for all your beverage needs when you could have it all in one place? Wine, Beer, and Spirits has everything for your parties with their 3 locations in Lincoln, Grand Island, and Omaha. It's the largest liquor store in the state, and here's the best part. You can get a drink from their bar and walk around with it as you shop for all your tailgate necessities. Locally owned and operated, it's Wine, Beer, and Spirits on North 27th Street in Lincoln.
Wow. Did you ever save me money on my car?
Yes, that's why our customers keep coming back.
How do you do it, friendly car dealer ?
We simply have low overhead and high trade-in values. The next line's yours.
Oh.
Ready for something better? Mullen Motors is a no-hassle, no-pressure dealership with financing available. Check out the inventory at MikeMullenMotors.com.
No taglines, just quality vehicles. Mullen Motors.
At Venue Catering and Events, we offer two of the most historic ballrooms in Lincoln. The Jasmine Room, located in the historic Grand Manse in the heart of downtown, featuring a beautiful built-in antique bar, spacious patio, and soaring skylit ceilings. The Scottish Rite Ballroom, located just 2 blocks from the state's capital, boasts intricate hand-carved columns, rich dark wood floors, and lavish chandeliers. The perfect venues to host your wedding, corporate event, or much more. For availability and more information, call us at 402-603-6483.
This
Anybody who knows me knows I was cocky out of the womb.
is Early Break with Sip and Jake, brought to you by Gaina Trucking. Weekday mornings from 6 to 8 on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
If you have listened to this show over the years, you know that this next guest is one of our absolute favorites, which means it is time for the actual meat of football season to begin, because, Sip, this happens every week to the end of the regular season.
Yes, it does.
College, NFL. We are joined for our initial time, our premier time for the season. Lee Sterling, Paramount Sports. Good morning, Lee. Did you watch the games last night?
Of course. I have 3 TVs and 2 computers, so it was, not only the amount of games, there were some really good games. I mean, the Pitt game against West Virginia and then the Penn State-Purdue games, I thought just were fabulous.
What stood out to you before you get to your picks? What stood out to you in Penn State Purdue? Were you? I walked away thinking those teams looked pretty subpar. Did you have the same thought, or what was your
Yeah,
thoughts
I
in
did
the
too.
game?
But it was competitive, so I was rooting for Manny Diaz and Penn State to lose at the end. But it was competitive, fun game.
All right, well, let's get to it, Lee. We got several games to go through, and we'll get right to the Big Ten to begin. Get your pens out. Iowa is a 15-point favorite at home against South Dakota State tomorrow. Lee, how do you see this one playing out?
So the Jackrabbits were 11-4 last year. They had wins over Colorado State by 19 points. They beat FCS champ North Dakota State. They did lose in the semifinals, but they're not going to beat themselves. Now, big news. I don't know if you heard this. Iowa added a new calisthenic in their warm-up and 2 new offensive plays this year. So big changes in Iowa. Just stays the same. I mean, they're going to play really good defense. I graded their defensive players, and they got 6 guys that are top 20% in conference. So they're going to be really stout, maybe even better than last year when they allowed 19 points per game here. But the offense is going to have trouble. I mean, they lost a bunch of receivers here. As usual, they'll throw to the tight end, they'll run, and then on 3rd and 5, try to get a first down here. I think Iowa wins this game, something like 34 to 7, 34-20. But I think you take here the Jackrabbits to get the cover.
Okay, Iowa 34-20. Ohio State is a 17-point favorite against Notre Dame. Lee. Ohio State 17-point favorite over the Fighting Irish. I'm watching the Ohio State defense, which was ordinary last year, pedestrian last year. What's Ohio State got defensively? Can they cover?
They'll be better. They're not going to be great. They were playing a converted fullback the last 4 games of the season at linebacker. They got some studs there. I don't think they're top 15, 20 defense, but they're going to score, I think, 40, 50 points on everyone. Now, Notre Dame hearing great things about Marcus Freeman. Think he's the right fit. He's recruiting well for next year, even better than Brian Kelly. But how do you stop that offense? C.J. Stroud, maybe, if not the best, one of the top 2 quarterbacks in the country, maybe the best receiver in the country, maybe 2 of the top 15 running backs. And then they bring over Jim Knowles from Oklahoma State. And who did he face in the bowl game? Notre Dame. He gets a second crack at him here. I think he'll tweak some things here with more talent. I think Ohio State wins big here. woodshed time, 48-20.
48.
Notre Dame they just can't match up. They can't match up against good offenses.
Do you think Ohio State should be the favorite this season, Lee, to win it all, or do you think Bama or Georgia should be in that conversation?
No, Alabama.
Okay.
But this could be another. I do think in 2 years, I think you're going to see 7-8 teams. You know, I think you're going to see Georgia will always be up there. I think you'll see even USC and Miami there, and then maybe like a Florida and one or two other teams. With the NIL money and the talent that's out there, I think it's going to even out. Like I said, see 7-8 really good teams in a couple of years.
Staying in the Big Ten, Indiana a 3-point favorite against Illinois on Saturday, Lee.
Yep. Illinois reshaped themselves into Brett Bielema's usual image here. Ground-oriented bully ball. I like the addition of Tommy DeVito. Accurate passer, can throw on the run and can also run if things fail. But Chase Brown, one of the top 3 backs in the conference, had 151 yards last week. He looks really good. Connor Bazelak, the addition where he comes over from Missouri to quarterback Indiana, that doesn't excite me at all. I just thought the kid never got any better here. The only real advantages Indiana has is they play at home. In Illinois, the quick turnaround, 6 days. But I think the wrong team's favored. I like Illinois here, 27-20.
I agree with you on that. I do think the wrong team's favored. What was your score there?
Yep.
What was your score?
27-20.
27-20. Okay. I'm interested in Michigan. I'm wildly interested in Michigan. They're playing an interesting game at quarterback, Lee. They're going to start Cade McNamara against Colorado State, then J.J. McCarthy against Hawaii. They're a 30-point favorite against Jay Norvell and Colorado State. 30-point favorite. I see Michigan as a team that will win 10 no matter what this year. They're a 30-point favorite. Are they going to cover, and are they going to win 10?
Well, I think there's a good chance, and it'll start here. Here's why. Clay Millen, the quarterback, I know you, Millen, well. Talked to him many times. I don't think his son's ready for this type of animal playing in the big house here. And then on defense, I mean, their cornerbacks are dreadful. Their linebackers in coverage are maybe the worst I've ever seen in the last 5-10 years. So I expect Blake Corum to run and catch balls out of the backfield and have some huge chunk gains. They also have really good special teams, does Michigan. So they could be able to maybe get a punt return for a touchdown here. Ronnie Bell comes back after injury. He was really good. I mean, Michigan, number 1 special teams in the country. They return their kicker, punter, really good return unit. So that's a big factor here. And they're 12-5 as a home favorite here at home. Make it 13-5. Romper room special. Michigan 52-13.
Are they a 10-win team no matter what, Michigan?
Yeah, but they got to go to Ohio State. That's going to be tough.
Yep, that is going to be
tough. And at Iowa. Yeah.
Lee, our game here in Lincoln, Nebraska coming off of a loss at in Ireland to Northwestern. 7 straight losses now for Nebraska. Hard to believe that, but they are 22-point favorites against North Dakota. Is it a closer game than we wanted to see, or do you think Nebraska covers and wins easily? How do you see this game playing out, Lee?
I think they're going to win easily here. So I like the offense. I like what I saw. I like the fact that they went with Anthony Grant. I thought he looked great. The offense looked good. A few, obviously turnovers hurt him. Bad call, on that fumble. Awful call. I think that they're improved a lot on offense, and special teams looked really good. They just got to get a better effort out of the defense. I mean, that was just so disappointing to see. So I think that they can't hold back here. So you might see a trick play on offense here.
Good idea.
And he's not taking out the starters early here. I think they lay it down here. I like Nebraska here. They think they win this game here, 45-14.
45-14. Lee, I love that idea, by the way. I'd like to see Nebraska run some trick. I mean, Jake, call me crazy. Call Lee crazy. You talk, Jake, about Nebraska having an underdog mentality. Yeah. Well, that's something an underdog does.
Let's do it then.
Yeah.
You are an underdog. You lost 7 straight football
Show
games.
some creativity. Send a message to your kids. Look, we might have to do some things in this game.
Yeah,
I love it.
I have no problem.
Good idea, Lee.
Last one, Lee, two ranked teams here. Georgia is a 17-point favorite against Oregon. Do the Ducks contend here, or do the Bulldogs cover that 17?
I think it's too much here. The losses on defense, 8 out of 11 starters here, and Dan Lanning, who's a defensive coordinator for 3 years, knows their personnel and schemes inside and out. I think that's worth another 4, 5, 6 points. And here's some points that no one has really talked about. Oregon returns 8 starters on offense. That offense went to Ohio State early in the year before Ohio State had the injuries, put up 35 points on them. All 5 offensive line starters returned. Add in Bo Nix, who played for 15 years at Auburn. Chase Cota, receiver, 6'3" receiver from UCLA here. Grab all the points you can. Georgia wins 31-21. Oregon covers.
31-21 Georgia. Okay, Lee, this was on your radar, but where can people find your picks for games like Cincinnati and Arkansas and other ones not on that we did not go through today?
Just call 800-400-9741. We'll give you that game for free. 17-4 run to start the year. I don't think anyone is hotter than we are, including 5-1 in college football. You want to hop on board, check out all the specials, ParamountSports.com.
Always enjoy it, Lee. Thanks. It's good to have you back. We'll see you next Friday, and enjoy the games this weekend.
Thanks, guys. Take care.
Great job. Lee Sterling, Paramount Sports. To break down, let's recap what Lee had for his picks and who to take in terms of the spreads. Okay. Iowa is, again, a 15-point favorite against South Dakota State. Lee has Iowa winning, but not covering 15. 34-20 Hawkeyes. I think it's closer than that. Personally, I do.
Do you?
Mm-hmm. Iowa is on upset alert tomorrow.
Okay.
Per me.
Okay.
Georgia, he has winning, but not covering 17 points. 31-21 Bulldogs over the Ducks. Do you agree with that one?
Yeah, Lee made a pretty strong case for it. Oregon has a lot back on offense. I think Georgia will flex, though. I don't necessarily agree with Lee on this. I think Georgia will overwhelm Oregon more than that. I think they'll cover. I think it's a 21-point Georgia win.
That's been my thought, too, but that's why they play the games. Illinois, he has, I'm surprised Indiana's even favored this game, aren't you? Indiana's a 3-point favorite against Illinois. I don't get it. I don't get that at all. Illinois has already played this season. They look good in week 0, 38-6 over Wyoming. Indiana was lifeless last year. They had, as Lee said, a quarterback, Baslick from Missouri.
Mm-hmm. I like Baslick, too. Now, Lee said something I really disagreed with.
Okay.
Chase Brown, one of the top 3 running backs in the Big Ten. Can't you find 3 better? I mean, you're going to find Travion Henderson for sure.
Muhammad Ibrahim.
Yeah, you definitely take Ibrahim above Chase Brown.
And Braylon Allen,
right.
Top 5, maybe top 5.
Yeah, I do definitely not see top 3.
Top 5, maybe.
Okay.
Okay,
so I'll give you that.
But Illinois, 27-20, has winning outright against Indiana. Ohio State, he has easily covering 17-point spread. 48-20 is the score. 48-20. He believes the Buckeyes roll Marcus Freeman and Notre Dame.
The question I would have is, will Ohio State be a well-oiled offense right out of the gate, enough to put 48 on Notre Dame? I'd tamp down that score to about 35. How about 35-20?
So they wouldn't cover the spread?
No, I don't think so.
You think Ohio State's not? They don't cover 17?
Why will they come out and score 48 on Notre Dame? I mean, they're not playing Central Michigan.
Yeah, but they got. I mean, I know they lost to Olave and Wilson, but they still have Marvin Harrison Jr.
Oh, they're
they've
loaded.
Got Jackson Smith-Njigba.
Yeah.
They've got Travion Henderson. And they got C.J. Stroud, who's not a freshman anymore.
If Ohio State comes out and puts 48 on Notre Dame out of the gate, yeah, that's a big message if they do that.
Huskers, he has winning and covering 45-14. Now, that'd be refreshing, wouldn't it?
He said Nebraska will win easily, right? Yes, it would be refreshing. I like what Lee said, though. I'd like to see Nebraska run some trick stuff, maybe. Be fairly creative right out of the gate. Send a message to your kids that we just don't expect to line up and pound these guys. Now, I bet there's a lot of Nebraska fans driving to work on Sybil. What are you talking about? No, you got to get out of your old school mentality with Nebraska. This is not 1998 anymore. I picked 1998. That wasn't even vintage, right?
It's a good year.
But it was pretty good. Yeah, it was pretty good. It
wasn't a championship year.
No, but it's not even that anymore. What was the opener that year when Louisiana Tech came in here and put a bunch of points on Nebraska?
Yards,
yeah.
Troy Edwards, 400.
Troy Edwards,
like 400 yards receiving.
Yeah,
like
crazy number.
Crazy. And then he has Michigan blowing out Colorado State. 30-point spread, not even a problem. 52-13, Lee says Michigan rolls Jay Norvell's Rams of Colorado State.
Jay Norvell said he's seldom seen better special teams play than he sees on film by Michigan. Watch Michigan specials. They're really, really finely tuned special teams organization. They are.
Does True Red have a call for the game show? Or is this regular? He's calling in.
Should we get True Red on?
True Red, you got a comment?
We got a
the
second.
game show?
Yeah, we got a second.
Go ahead, True Red. You're on early break.
All right, fellas. Husker Nation, we vented on Monday and Tuesday. We licked our wounds on Wednesday. Yesterday, we took off the bandages. I don't want to hear no more about disappointment. We should have did this. We could have done that. It's Friday. It's Friday, game day. It's time to be ready. It's time to be prepped. I think Herbie's going to tighten up the overalls. Husker Nation's going to dominate 51-17. I think we'll see 200 yards rushing, and I think we'll see over 300 yards passing. So I'm going to say over 500 yards offense again.
Okay. That's
all right.
fair.
Thank you, True Red.
True Red, appreciate the optimism.
Yeah,
51-17, he says. This score.
True Red's fired up. You can hear it in his voice.
I would gladly take a 51-17 win.
Yeah.
I'm just asking for a stress-free victory. I know it's
normalcy.
We didn't have it in week 1, week 0.
Normalcy.
Nebraska plays North Dakota, not North Dakota State. North Dakota. That should be a comfortable win. Should be. Has not resulted in good things, though.
Unfortunately, around here, the new norm is tumult. I'm talking about the old normalcy. Just a nice, easy win where you see progress. Let's see that.
Yeah, that'd be nice, wouldn't it?
Yeah. You're going to the game? Are you going to the game?
I got to be.
Are you going to the game?
We're just giving again the scoop of how this goes tomorrow for home games. We'll be at Tipsy Tina's from noon to 2:30. So I'll be there for pregame show, and then I have to go to Tanner's for the second postgame show. We got a regular postgame show calling from here for 90 minutes. Then we go to Tanner's for another 90-minute postgame show. I will be out there.
You'll be with Tanner's. With who? What will you be out there with?
DP be out there. I think Vershawn Jackson, Terrell Farley will be out there.
Holy God.
So it'll be a lot of
luminaries.
Yes, out there at Tanner's 30th.
And then you.
Well, I'll be there. I'll be there.
You're an luminary.
Yeah. And by the way, before we get to the game show,
I don't think it's a luminary. I think it's luminary. Excuse me.
Don't forget today. This is an invite for you, Sip. Any listener out there. Today, the Cornhusker Bank tailgate. We'll be out there from 4 to 6 p.m., 84th and O. Okay?
Okay.
You know that big building, 84th and O.
84th and
I guess
O.
83rd and O if you want to be technical here.
Yeah.
We've got a free tailgate show, 4 to 6 p.m., free barbecue, drinks, live remote with us. Jay Foreman's going to be there. Larry the Cable Guy is going to be there.
Whoa.
The first 20 in attendance, we'll get a free football that's ready to be signed.
Man, free barbecue?
This is all free. You guys
Wait a
can come.
second.
There's no limitation.
What's going on with all the free stuff? Aviva Stadium, you have free alcohol. Now there's free barbecue.
Yeah.
That's
today. The Cornhusker Bank tailgate, 4 to 6 p.m. today. We'll be out there broadcasting our shows, or DP and Jay will be out there doing their show. Larry, the Cable Guy, will be there. It's going to be a great time. Get ready for tomorrow's game against North Dakota.
Okay.
As we start off the season.
Thank you, Jake.
So join us out there. 83rd and O, Cornhusker
Thank
Bank.
you, Jake.
Now, let's play the game show. Give us
we
a
still
call
got to do
right
that.
now at 464-568-5. Your chance to win a business box of bagels to Bagels and Joe. It's already a winning week for you in the reset. You are 3-1. So today is gravy. Either win, 4-1, you lose, you're still winning week.
And I like gravy. I do. All kinds.
Well, it's a very random one today for Film Friday because why not? Movies with numbers in the title.
What? Your mind works in strange ways.
If you think you know your movies that have numbers in the title, call us 464-5685. Shut Up Sipple starts right now.
We've all been there. You're listening to the radio, and then that rage starts to grow inside of you. It starts to consume you. It gets to a point where you just want to yell, "Shut up, Sipple!" No, sorry. I'm sorry. Well, here's your chance. It's time to shut up, Sipple. Call now to play. 464-5685. Shut up, Sipple. Brought to you by Bagels and Joe.
All right, 464-5685. Call the takedown Sip in trivia. 3-1 on the week, trying to go to 4-1. How do you feel about movies with numbers in the title?
I'm interested. I'm I'm interested to see what you have here. Bill is on the line. The line's been jacked all week. Thank you, everybody, for. I guess it's football season. People are fired up.
That is what's going on right now. Bill, how do you feel about movies with numbers in the titles?
We'll see.
All right, Bill. I'm kind of in the will see mode too. Let's do this, Jake.
All right, Bill, first question goes to you. What 2009 movie features John Travolta as the mastermind of a hijacking of a New York City subway train who forces Denzel Washington's character into a face-off with him?
Yeah, I'm going to pass on that one.
Oh.
If you don't know it.
Something number 9, I think. I'm gonna pass though. I'm gonna pass.
Yeah, that's a smart pass. It's The Taking of Pelham 1 2 3.
Oh, Pelham 1 2 3.
Yeah, it was a good movie.
Yeah, it was. I saw the movie.
Good movie.
I did see the movie, and Travolta plays a psycho really well.
He does.
He does.
Denzel's good in that movie too.
Yeah.
All right, 0-0 tie. Sip your first question. What 2010 movie features Russell Crowe and Elizabeth Banks as a married couple whose lives are turned upside down when the wife is accused of murder?
No guess. I have no idea.
You know I have a number in it.
Okay, well, let me think. It's Russell Crowe.
Yep. And Elizabeth Banks.
I have no guess.
All right, Bill, do you want to steal that one or let it go?
Yeah, I think I'm going to pass.
Okay, that would be The Next 3 Days was the name of that movie. 0-0 tie.
That nobody knows that movie.
Yeah, if anybody's watched The Next 3 Days, please text 464-5685 to confirm.
Nobody's going to
to
text. All right, go ahead.
All right, for the lead, Bill, your last question. What 2007 movie features Jim Carrey as a man obsessed with the novel he believes is written about him, as more and more similarities between himself and his literary alter ego seem to arise?
The number 23.
The number 23 is correct. I saw
I've never
that.
heard
I
of it.
watched that movie. It was odd. Let's go with that. It was an odd movie.
I've never heard of it.
Yeah, it was in theaters. I saw it.
Never heard of 2 of these. Go ahead.
All right, Sip, you're down 1-0. Last chance to get the tiebreaker.
Let's go.
What 1999 movie features George Clooney, Mark Wahlberg, and Ice Cube as soldiers in the aftermath of the Persian Gulf War who set out to steal gold that was stolen from Kuwait, but they discover people who desperately need their help?
Jake. I have no idea.
Well, you know there's a number in the title.
I know, but
you can't pass. You got to guess it to have any chance to win. There's no passing.
Read it again, please.
What 1999 movie features George Clooney, Mark Wahlberg, and Ice Cube as soldiers in the aftermath of the Persian Gulf War who set out to steal gold that was stolen from Kuwait, but they discover people who desperately need their help?
It's something with kings in it.
5 seconds.
Right?
I'm not going to tell you yes or no.
Can you do that?
5 seconds.
Close it.
And who was in it? 3 Kings.
Oh,
3 Kings.
Where did it come
Yeah,
from? Where
3
did it come
Kings.
from?
Yeah.
You know
okay.
what? This is a surprise because you went for the tiebreaker first. This goes to Bill.
Oh, this could be a great comeback.
And now, Bill, Sip will go over under your number. So here is your question, Bill, the tiebreaker. What is the official film length in hours and minutes of The Taking of Pelham 1 2 3?
Okay, I saw
this
the
is
movie.
for Bill.
Oh, God, I hate these.
This is for Bill first.
Yeah.
Hours and minutes here, Bill.
Hour 40.
Okay.
Oh, way over. 4-1.
Is it over an hour?
Way over.
40. What a comeback. He dug deep for 3 Kings. I'll say this, though. It is not way over.
It's not?
Hour 46.
Ooh, really?
So if 6 minutes is way over, I
Oh,
don't know
Bill,
what
I'm
over
sorry.
is.
I'm sorry, Bill. I thought it was way over that. I would have guessed
Good
over.
game, Sip.
Thank you, Bill. Yeah.
Yeah, nice work.
Didn't
Sid.
give up.
Bill,
I mean,
good try today.
Yeah. Thank you, Bill. God, I thought that movie was long.
I thought it was over 2 hours too. When I researched it, that was surprising to me.
Okay.
Anything with Denzel, you would think. you
Yeah,
won.
I won. Yeah,
Gus, are you awake over there,
He's
Gus?
fine. He's a teenager.
Gus has been falling asleep during the show. His head's
Don't
down.
say that. Don't say
Gus,
that.
are you okay?
He's a teen.
He asked if you won the game. He just
He's
got
fine.
over.
He's fine.
All right, Gus, how about this? Before we get to break, back to the phones.
Okay.
Caller 5.
Okay.
Caller 5 right now, 464-5685. I want you looking fresh for Labor Day weekend.
Okay.
I do.
Okay.
It's a long weekend. We're back on the show on Tuesday, not Monday.
No
Tuesday.
Monday show.
If you want to win a free haircut from Great Clips, why wouldn't you want a free haircut?
If you do want
Caller
that.
5 right now at 402-464-5685 will win a free haircut, compliments of us in Great Clips here.
Yeah.
From Early Break.
You're
welcome in advance, by the way.
Yeah. I got to get a haircut. I'm heading to Great
You are
Clips.
not eligible to win.
I know.
You can go pay for your own haircut.
Right. Thank you. All right, Jake. If I'm not mistaken, that's a 4-1 week.
You are not mistaken, my friend. If Nebraska starts their season 4-1, all will be forgiven from Dublin.
Will it?
Yes. Yes.
A lot of that will
means
depend on how Northwestern plays.
That
and
means you
it's-
beat Oklahoma.
Yeah. I don't know. Would all be forgiven?
I think
Quite
all's
a bit.
forgiven there.
Quite a
Yeah,
bit.
you beat Oklahoma and you win 4 straight games.
Mhm.
I think all is forgiven.
Yeah.
I'd welcome that. Please.
We've moved on. We have a game tomorrow at 2:30. We don't know what the crowd will look like. I think the weather's supposed to be good though, right?
Yes. Well, warm.
Yeah. Well, it's early September.
Tomorrow will be about a high of 83. Very
Perfect.
pleasant. Very pleasant tomorrow.
Yeah, the stands should be full.
I hope so. Spillovers next on Early Break in the Ticket.
Warhorse Casino is bringing winning opportunities to Lincoln. Get in on the action at our next job fair, Tuesday, September 6th from 3 p.m. to 7 p.m. at the Cornhusker Marriott. We're hiring trailblazers in every department: revenue auditors, IT, drop team, beverage servers, and more. Every employee is treated like family, and every role is essential in creating a one-of-a-kind experience. Go to warhorsecasino.com for more information or to apply.
Parents, now is the time to get your kids into one of the fastest growing sports in the Midwest, lacrosse. Signups are happening now for the Junior Rampage League fall season. Kids ages 6 to 14 are invited to join, with teams available for both first-time and experienced players. The focus will be on skill development with scrimmages throughout the fall. For more information, head to LincolnLAX.net. Don't miss out on your chance to join the growing lacrosse movement with the Junior Rampage. Register today at LincolnLAX.net. The season starts September 10th.
Hey, it's Sean Callahan, and football season is here, and there is one place that has all the games, plus great food and beer specials. Tanner's Bar and Grill at 30th and Yankee Hill. Whether it's Thursday night football, college football Saturdays, NFL Sundays, or Monday night football, there's a great view of the game from any seat with different food and drink specials every night. Try the Blue Ribbon Reuben sandwich or the Prime Rib French dip or any of their famous chicken wings. That's Tanner's Bar and Grill at 30th and Yankee Hill.
It's tailgate season. Why would you bounce around from place to place for all your beverage needs when you could have it all in one place? Wine, Beer, and Spirits has everything for your parties with their 3 locations in Lincoln, Grand Island, and Omaha. It's the largest liquor store in the state, and here's the best part. You can get a drink from their bar and walk around with it as you shop for all your tailgate necessities. Locally owned and operated, it's Wine, Beer, and Spirits on North 27th Street in Lincoln.
This is your High School Minute.
With your Southeast Community College High School Minute, I'm Gus Cottle. High school football is in full swing. Last week, Omaha Westside defeated Creighton Prep 28-21. Gretna defeated Omaha Burke 44-0. Bellevue West defeated Omaha North 28-26. Elkhorn South defeated Lincoln Southeast 31-20. And Grand Island defeated North Platte 20-19. In volleyball, Bellevue East defeated Lincoln Northwest in 2 sets. Lincoln East defeated Elkhorn North 2-1. Lincoln Northeast defeated Bellevue East in 2 straight sets. Lincoln Northeast defeated Lincoln Northwest in 2 sets. And Lincoln Southeast went 2-0 on the weekend, defeating North Platte and Omaha Buena Vista. In the parking lot of Seaman Stadium in Omaha, a statue of Omaha Central and NFL great Gale Sayers was unveiled in front of a crowd of 300. This has been your Southeast Community College High School Minute. Learn more today at southeast.edu with locations in Lincoln, Beatrice, and Milford.
Seasons change, but your land stays the same. You need the right solutions to keep you moving. That's why you rely on Acres Equipment, your Nebraska-owned premier John Deere dealership. Whether you're harvesting, protecting your crops, feeding the herd, maintaining your lawn, improving your business, or letting off some steam, Acres has what you need to get the job done. Acres Equipment, solutions for every field.
This is Lincoln's home for sports talk on the FM dial. Also online at theticketfm.com. On the internet. KNTK FM Firth, 93.7 The Ticket.
What do you want?
Hi, Mr. Carpenter. I'm Luke from down the street.
Oh, yeah. You shoveled my driveway last New Year's Eve.
Yes, sir.
Thanks. Although you missed a few spots.
Well, the reason I'm here is to give you this Nebraska Lottery Powerball with Power Play ticket and voucher.
You bought this for me? Why?
Well, I noticed you spent last New Year's Eve all alone. That's no fun. So through September 12th, you can buy a Powerball with Power Play ticket and enter the voucher number in the Nebraska Lottery's Powerball First Millionaire of the Year promotion, and maybe win a trip to New York City for New Year's Eve. Plus, you'll also get a chance at $1 million to become the Powerball First Millionaire of 2023.
Well, that's really very nice of you. You're a fine young man. You be careful walking home.
Yes, sir.
But stay off my lawn.
Through September 12th, buy a Powerball with Power Play ticket and enter the voucher number for a chance to win. Powerball top prize odds 1 in 292 million.
College football in Lincoln, America. The time has come. Start your game day off right with the A1 Automotive Ticket Tailgate pregame show. Join the ticket crew live from Tipsy Tina's in the Haymarket as they bring you all the coverage you need to get you ready for the action. It's the A1 Automotive Ticket Tailgate pregame show on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Brought to you by A1 Automotive, Mullen Motors, Wall to Wall Wine and Spirits, Bauer Underground, Ben Bleicher with Professional Realty Group, and Ritchie Brothers.
You work way too hard to blend in. It's time for your business to stand out from the crowd. Revolution Wraps takes your image to the next level with professional, high-quality vehicle wraps, signage, interior graphics, trade show displays, and plenty more. They do it all in-house, from design to print to installation. Call Revolution Wraps in either Lincoln or Omaha for a free quote today at 402-475-2886. Or see what they can do for your business online at revolutionwraps.com. Revolution Wraps. Start something big.
The captain, Vershawn Jackson.
Running the ball is just as important as completing the pass down the field. More important so because of what? Time of possession. We were 9 minutes shy in the time of possession game. All the other stuff doesn't matter. It's only wins, losses. Who cares how we win? Let's just get back to winning.
On 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
I grew up hearing that women are bad with money, but like many of you, I spent years paying bills, managing checking accounts, and taking care of my family. So turns out women are pretty good with money after all. And now I'm taking control of my financial future by saving for retirement. It's never too late to start, and there's a great website to help you. Check out WeSaySaveIt.org and jumpstart your retirement savings on your budget and your timeline. That's WeSaySaveIt.org. Brought to you by AARP and the Ad Council.
We're on the air. Back.
Well, party's starting early today, isn't it?
To more of Early Break with Sip and Jay. Brought to you by Gaina Trucking. On 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
It is time for the spillover on a Friday. AD is back from, you were doing a little speech out in Washington. Is that where you're at?
I was in Soap Lake.
Soap Lake?
Washington.
Never
and
been.
then I was in Wahluke. So I spoke in two places, Wahluke, Washington, and Soap Lake, man.
What part of Washington are we talking about? Central Washington.
So both of these towns are probably about 2.5 hours to the west of Pullman.
Which is
Does
Washington
it look
State.
like Nebraska out there?
No, Dude,
doesn't?
it was. I literally. Because besides Twitter, you're not a social media guy, all right? Besides Twitter,
No.
Yeah, because you're a Twitter guy.
Good call.
Yeah.
That's all he's got.
Jake, maybe you didn't see. I posted a picture yesterday on my store, one of my stories on Instagram. I literally was driving to Wahluke, and I was on with Nate and with Nick and Rav. Just on the road calling. I literally about wrecked 5 times.
Why?
Because the views were just amazing, man.
It's your fault.
Yeah, I mean, it was just, and it wasn't because I literally was just like, wow. It looked like,
What kind of views are we talking
we're
about?
talking about mountains. We got there's vineyards. They have apple orchards, not apple. They grow apples at. It was just beautiful, man. You have the Columbia. I think it's called the Columbia River.
Okay.
That
Makes
runs
sense.
around that whole way. So it was just a gorgeous
That
drive.
sounds
man.
beautiful.
Yeah, it was gorgeous, man.
So you got back at 2:15, and here you are at 2:15 a.m. Nick.
Yeah,
man.
Trust me, we've had conversations.
2:15 a.m. and here he sits.
Yeah.
This is a dedicated man. Right
Yeah,
here.
that's not easy to do at our age.
Well, I thought about zooming from the bed, but I didn't think that looked good.
No. Thank you for not doing that.
Smart, good call. Good call.
The ticket after dark.
Yeah.
That's the kind of stuff. I don't know if that'd be good for ratings or not.
Well, last night, AD, we got Nebraska tomorrow against North Dakota, but last night there was a Big Ten game, Purdue, Penn State.
Sorry,
Yeah, no,
that hit
you're
me
still
late.
laughing.
That hit me
Sure,
late.
it did.
Oh,
Purdue, Penn State last night. Penn State was looking dead in the water. Then Purdue decided not to run the football to not burn any clock, and they get a second chance, go down and score, and the defense holds. So 35-31, Penn State beats Purdue last night in West Lafayette.
I was on a plane last night, so I didn't get to see either of those games. So I had to catch SportsCenter basically this morning when I got home. You talking about mismanagement? It was, and I was surprised because Purdue normally doesn't do things like that. I was
Brom's solid, right?
Yeah, I was pretty surprised by him. I was just surprised by the outcome of that game. I was surprised. Not that Penn State won, but I did have Purdue winning that game.
I thought they'd win too.
When I was in the airport, just kind of looking at the scores, just who was coming up that night and the previews. I was thinking, I was thinking Purdue by about maybe a touchdown, 3, maybe at least 3. And they could have, and they ended up losing by what? 3?
So
4, yeah.
I went to bed after Christian Freeman intercepted that ball and put Purdue up late, and I thought, okay, Purdue's at home.
That was over.
The crowd's delirious. They'll hammer this home. So when I got up and you told me Penn State won, I was sort of shocked.
Well, and the way they won, because Sean Clifford had been terrible for the majority of the second half,
you
and
laughing, Nick?
he has a miracle drive. That was a beautiful drive.
It was
to
really
win the
nice.
game.
What's
But
so funny, Nick?
Well, you went to bed and then you woke up and you just thought automatically that Purdue won.
Right.
And so you're like, when Jake told me that Purdue lost, I was shocked this morning.
I was. He delivers the news to me.
What are we doing?
I am the
What are
morning
we
He
newspaper.
delivers the news.
I am the morning newspaper here.
Yeah.
So you went to bed after the Puke 6.
I did.
Okay.
I did.
Well, yeah, no.
The
horrible-
Puke 6, we're
There was
calling
still
it.
4 minutes left.
Yeah.
Because the young man threw up on the
Yeah,
sideline.
Yeah,
and I'm
it
sure.
was
Hold on, someone actually.
Somebody's horrified. I'm sure people are horrified.
It was a tough.
I'm sure people are horrified. Yeah. Yeah.
He ran too much.
Horrified.
He
Yeah.
made himself throw up.
Yeah.
The defensive back that intercepted the ball.
He ran 77 yards.
Yeah.
Took it back 70 plus yards
Yeah.
for a touchdown.
Got over the sideline, then it's just
Let it
this
roll.
red stuff.
It was,
came
it was nothing. It was just he just did it and then went back to his
He was
teammate.
ready to roll.
Right. Anyway,
Yeah.
so I thought at that point, Purdue,
Yeah.
they're going to close this off.
Well, yeah, like we said, one run in the last like 19 plays or whatever it was, right?
Is that what it was?
No, maybe not 19. It was like 23. It was like one.
So
one
one
run.
Purdue run.
So the
Yeah.
opposite of Northwestern.
That-
Ran
yeah,
19
that's
straight
That's where I got the
times.
19 from, is because Northwestern ran it 19 straight times in the fourth quarter.
So
but
Jake has a big issue with Brom.
I do.
Not salting away the clock.
He didn't
why
try.
wouldn't you- it's not like your running game was non-existent all
Yeah.
game.
King
You-
Drew
you
was
had-
okay.
Yeah, no,
okay.
you had a guy that. I mean, you had a guy that had a couple rushing or a rushing touchdown. I know for sure. Like
King Daru.
Yeah, you had some sort of a running game. It's not like you were running it for 10 times for 23 yards.
No, they had a little
Yeah,
bit.
King
King
Daru
Daru
was
averaged
okay.
3.8
I mean,
last night.
it's respectable. It's not great. It's
Well,
not terrible.
You can't tell me you can't win like that because Pitt did it for a while, which I will get to
Yeah,
Pitt in a
that-
second.
yeah, Pitt had
Pitt
1.9
offense-
yards per carry
yeah.
on 39 attempts.
Offense looked
And they won.
completely
That
different
was all they
than
had.
it did last year. Offense looked completely different than it did last year, but they figured out a way to get it done.
Because they had the easiest pick six in the history of mankind.
six.
Because the guy dropped an easy pass,
Maybe.
it went up in the air, and it went back.
Maybe, but I'm also saying that they ran it and they were okay with getting 3 yards per carry.
They got
because
1.9 yards a carry.
on average. They did, but towards the end of the game, they were getting 2-3 yards per carry. But they were okay with it because it made it a third and manageable. They didn't have to do anything spectacular on third down, and it's just like those. I mean, it looks completely different than it did last year under Mark Whipple at Pittsburgh, and with guys like Kenny Pickett and Jordan Addison. But now you got Keaton Slovis and those guys up there. So now they're figuring out a way to score the football.
I did see that pick six from the airport.
What'd you see?
What'd you think of that?
I'm thinking if I'm the receivers coach, I'm sick.
Oh, you should
because
be
that
sick.
ball was right in his hands, right there.
Oh, it's perfect.
And that guy. I mean, first of all, I'll tell you what. The guy that picked it from Pitt showed some speed because he ran away from everybody.
Yeah, he did. You're right.
He showed some speed. It's like once he caught it, he put it into another gear, and he ran through traffic, and that was a wrap. That was a wrap.
Pitt prevails in the back.
38-31. Yeah, they had 39 carries for 78 yards, like an average of 1.9 yards per carry.
Yeah.
And Slovis was good. He was 16 of 24. He had 300 yards plus passing, a touchdown, a touchdown, no picks, no sacks either.
Switch back to Purdue. They're in danger zone, in my opinion, in the Big Ten. Now they're 0-1. They go to Minnesota next. They
go to Minnesota.
To Minnesota,
who just beat New Mexico State 38-0 last night.
Right. Now they have
spoiled Jerry Kill's return.
Held them to less than 100 yards of total offense.
There's a buffer in there. They play 3 non-con games, but Purdue's next Big Ten game is at Minnesota, and then it's at Maryland. 0-3 is very possible for Purdue going into the Nebraska game.
Yeah.
0-3 is very possible.
Very much so on the table.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
That game for Purdue last night was gigantic because of what's in front of them. That's one reason. It's just it's a scary situation.
They had the game and they just blew it.
You wonder how they'll come back.
They pulled in Nebraska. They had stupid play calling at the very end.
You know what's going to hurt more than last night is when they wake up this morning.
Yeah.
And they're going to see the review of those plays and be like, what in the world were we doing? That's a bitter feeling, man. It hurts the next night after. Worse. To have a game like that. You're at home. You got an amazing crowd. I mean, you have literally all the momentum.
They did have an amazing crowd.
The nation's watching. It's a Thursday night game. It's on main Fox.
Could they be as bad as Indiana? Could they have a fall like Indiana last year?
Nope. Okay. Purdue? No.
Yeah, I'm out on that.
No way.
Yeah. I don't know.
No way.
I don't know. I think it's still an option. I still think it's up in the air with
They-
that.
they
And their
could-
schedule, what you just said, Sip, they go to Minnesota, right?
To Minnesota.
To
Probably
Minnesota.
to Maryland.
To Maryland. So they have 2 road games. How do they deal with this hangover?
Right.
We'll find out.
Oh yeah.
No, they got a couple games before that with the non-conference.
Yeah, they
games.
have 3
But when
non-con
they get to
games.
conference play
Right.
end of September. Yeah, that's the
Is
real
it,
deal.
is it safe to just assume, because this is where I was at last night, Sean Clifford has one of those game-winning drives in him like once every 10 times?
Well, I don't like Sean Clifford. That's
I
why
know
told
you
Sip,
don't. You say it all
he
the
was
time.
so-
Clifford is
he-
bad,
He
Sip.
was so
What?
bad the entire second
Sean
half.
Clifford is bad.
Hey, give the man his due.
Yeah, you gotta give him his
just
I just said that.
All
He's
right.
got a drive in him like that one
Yeah.
out of every 10 times.
They
But if
just-
I'm Purdue, even when you get Penn State the football back, I'm not convinced Sean
I
Clifford's
get a
going to
little.
do this.
Jake,
He was remarkable that series. He was
Jake,
really
you
good.
are really hard on
100%.
Clifford.
100%.
You're really hard on.
Because you saw him, Sip. You saw the pick he threw. It was
That was
horrible.
a terrible pass.
And then before
God, what
that,
was
he's
he doing?
throwing behind guys.
Yeah.
He's throwing over their heads. I mean,
He's a tough kid, though. Wow, he's a tough
the
one.
last
How
drive.
is-
was
They're
impressive.
5-star freshmen.
Hey,
Could
Aaron,
sling it. Aller,
Clifford,
Aller.
Aaron and me are more aligned because we're older. Clifford intangibles are through the roof good. He's a leader. He's a tough leader.
Does he remind you of who was their quarterback? In fact, I spoke from that year. Who was Penn State's little short quarterback?
Yes.
Trace McSorley?
Trace McSorley.
Okay,
Does
even
he-
before that, he reminds me of that guy.
Christian Hackenberg.
Christian
No,
Hackenberg.
go back another one.
Matt McGloin.
Matt McGloin.
McGloin.
He reminds me of McGloin.
The Raiders
He does.
star.
God,
No,
you-
not really.
I am
Raiders star,
impressed,
but-
Nick.
Because
I'm
he was only about
impressed.
7 years old when McGloin was
Right,
there.
that's
I would've been
amazing.
pretty
You
young.
knew
Thank you.
McGloin.
Thank you, Matt McGloin.
He does remind me a little McGloin.
He's
McGloin
got-
was gamey.
Gamey,
Tough.
just moxie. He's
Yeah.
got a lot of moxie.
Yeah.
If you look at him, be like, this guy's not a quarterback.
No.
He'll kill you.
Yeah, he's tough.
He'll
He's
kill
tough.
you.
He keeps coming. He never
Yeah.
goes away. He never goes
But
away.
I'm saying that if he doesn't deliver that game-winning drive, I'm telling you, there's
know
going
you're
to
telling
be
me.
calls for Aller
Yeah.
to come to start next week.
Who's the worst?
Drew Aller.
Who's the worst quarterback? Sean Clifford or Graham Mertz?
Mertz. Mertz doesn't
Oh,
have the
boy.
intangibles that
That's tough.
Mertz doesn't. No,
It's
it's
tougher
not
than you
tough.
think it is.
Mertz doesn't have the intangibles.
I would rather have no quarterback.
Mertz can't run either.
That's a bad take.
No,
Let's go
no.
with the Wildcat.
Just Wildcat.
No, hold on.
Rex Burkhead.
No. Mertz. Sean Clifford can run a little bit. Mertz can't run at all. Clifford's a tough runner. He's a tough runner. You got to give him
I'll
that.
give him that. I don't want him as my
No,
quarterback.
it was a really good final drive. Like you can't take that away from him. But in that situation, when they gave Penn State the football back and they brought Sean Clifford out, I was like, I still feel pretty good about Purdue's chances.
If they lose that game, if it's 31-28,
I know you've said it 7 times.
I'm saying it
today.
again. Clifford might not start next week.
Yeah,
but he will now because he won.
Yeah, that kid they brought in looked good.
By the way, they ruined Aiden O'Connell's 24th birthday last night.
Oh,
quarterback.
wow.
Isn't that all?
To lose
Just
the way
a
they
shame.
lost,
Just
man,
a
that,
shame.
That one's, I tell you, the hangover is going to be tough on that one. Let me ask you this: I did see this last night too, early this morning when I was watching ESPN. Abdul Carter, the linebacker from Penn State.
Okay,
that was a horrible
targeting.
Horrible targeting
garbage.
call.
You see it? You
No, I did not see
Oh,
that.
Sip, you guys.
Okay, so there's a drop off pass, but he couldn't tell from his angle if it was a lateral pass or a forward pass, and so the play is basically over. But the ball's on the ground, and the Carter does not know. This is first quarter.
Okay, yeah, I missed that.
I think it's late first quarter.
Yeah, late first, early second, maybe.
I was waiting for a propane
and
tank.
so the ball, so the ball's on the ground.
I was waiting for a
The
propane
ball's on the ground, and the Purdue running back, I believe, I think it was King Daru, was
Okay.
on the ground, and Carter comes in like because he thinks the play's still live, and he goes helmet to helmet, but he's on the ground.
Okay.
And so when it was real time, nothing happened. Like, after a few seconds, they say we're going to review this for targeting. There was no flag.
Okay.
It was-
After 10 seconds, they said we're
At
going to
least
review
10
this.
seconds. It was bad.
And
It
if
was
you
bad.
watch the replay, I mean, he thought the play was going.
Yeah.
It's not his fault that the Purdue guy had his helmet down when he was going for the ball
I hear
on
you.
the ground.
I hear you.
And he got ejected.
And that kid was.
He got ejected.
He got kicked out.
He's
Yeah.
gone.
The targeting held. He
He's
got
gone.
kicked out of the game.
He's gone.
It was horrible.
3 quarters left in the game. He gets ejected for a
And now the
Trump's
first
call.
half,
It was
right?
bogus.
Oh my god,
It was bogus.
I'm glad you brought it up. That was horrible.
It was horrible.
Actually, something similar happened in the Pitt West Virginia game. A guy came across the middle, and a middle linebacker for Pitt hit with his chest. Remember that Nate Gary hit against UCLA?
Yeah.
Yes.
Imagine more chest
Okay.
than that hit.
Okay.
But a similar type of style, similar type of aggression and physicality as well. And the wide receiver's head snapped back. Whoop, there goes the
And they
penalty
threw the
flag.
Yeah.
And there was no targeting, but they and the refs right there.
What do you call?
It obviously gets upheld. He just doesn't get booted. He just doesn't get
Okay.
kicked out.
Yeah.
So it's 15 yards. And so that's where it's like they're so quick to when somebody's head snaps back or something like that, or there's some physical movement with the upper body region, neck head area, right on the offensive player. And yes, he was coming across the middle, so it might have been maybe he's defenseless in that situation, but he was already being tackled by another guy, and then this linebacker came in and finished off the tackle.
God, I'm just.
It was just one of these situations where it's like you could keep the flag in your pocket, and it's just a physical hit.
God, do you know what's happening right now? Though we're just talking football, just pure
beautiful,
football.
yeah.
Isn't it beautiful?
And we're not saying what we think is going to
No,
happen.
it's
like
happened.
we were the past 5.5 months, whatever. we're talking about what we
Well, right
actually
now.
just saw. Yeah.
not hypotheticals or what
Right.
happened last year.
No.
It's right now, live recap.
Which these 3 Power 5 games, these Power 5 versus Power 5 games that have happened,
Mhm.
it's been, I mean, Nebraska Northwestern has been decided by 3.
Good game.
Great game, and it was controversial, I would say. Pittsburgh West Virginia was
Great game.
a great game and gave you awesome stuff for your Thursday night. 7-point difference. Purdue, Pittsburgh, or
Great
Purdue
game.
and Penn State,
Great
4-point
game.
difference.
Great game.
Great game.
It's been a phenomenal start.
It's been a
to
great
college
start to
football.
football season.
I was listening to your what was the gentleman you guys had on. Where's he from? Paramount.
Lee Sterling, Paramount Sports.
Lee.
Yeah.
He's from Miami.
Miami.
Aaron.
Well, the 40. He says Nebraska 45-14.
Yes.
I want to believe him so bad too. I do.
What do you
I-
think?
I think Nebraska by 21 personally, which is not far off from what he did. I would say this: I'm eager to see the response.
Yeah,
I really am. I'm eager to see response. I don't want to see us tussling with North Dakota. It's not a knock on them. It's just reality.
It's
You know,
wake up, man.
there's no way that you contend with us in this game. But at the same time, I'm curious. I'm curious. I'm curious to see. And first of all,
I am too.
This is a team that you should run for at least 200 yards on easily.
Mm-hmm.
Will they? We'll see tomorrow. But I'm
Will they
just
commit to running the football?
Exactly. I'm more excited for this game, and it's a different excitement compared to Northwestern. This one's more of a let's see what you're made of.
Yeah, that's what I was telling Jake today. It's a character game.
Yeah.
You're measuring character in this game.
You really are.
Now, in why? Because you had an overseas trip.
Yeah.
You come back, you have a shorter week of preparation. There's challenges.
Yep.
There's physical challenges that become sort of mental challenges.
Mhm.
You prepared for games. If you were tired, it affect your preparation,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
So they have to fight through all that, and you want to see how that happens. Now,
Yeah.
where I feel comfortable about Nebraska's Casey Thompson.
Oh, yeah.
I have a high
Absolutely.
degree of confidence in that
Yes.
quarterback. I
Yes.
think he'll be a stabilizer. Now you got to find that on defense. You got to have those captains start making plays.
Yeah.
Garrett Nelson, Caleb Tanner.
Yeah.
They got to start making plays. You got to see O'Shawn in the backfield. You got to start seeing that pretty quick now.
Yep. We do.
Quick. Game 2.
It's got to happen.
The leader's got to lead, but performance, I mean, I always say it. Leadership is performance. Those guys got to perform. Garrett's got to make some plays.
He's got to make some plays. I'm going to tell you a kid that I was extremely impressed with was Tommy Hill.
Yes.
That kid
Ooh,
played
talented.
a game last week.
Ooh.
And it was real quiet. You didn't hear a lot about it.
We didn't.
But when you go back and watch that game,
They had
that
a
dude,
blitz that wasn't quiet.
yeah, he was all over
Yeah.
the field all day long last week. And
He's a baller.
He's a baller. He is. I was very impressed with his play. But to your point, Sip, Casey Thompson, to me, he's a guy that brings calmness to the force. If we go back to Star Wars, you got to watch those still.
Got to
Nick.
watch
Yeah,
this.
come on, Nick.
He brings a calmness to the force. I mean, he really does. And just
does.
even during that press conference when I think was it Casey was up there was talking after the game, and then he was trying
Yeah,
to
he did.
and Casey goes up and says, "We'll be all right.
Mhm.
We'll be all right."
Yeah, Garrett was struggling
Yes.
in that press
That was
conference.
Garrett Nelson. Yes,
Right.
that was Garrett that was struggling.
Which is not what we usually see.
Right.
He
We don't
kind of
usually-
wears his
he was
heart on his
stunned.
sleeve
He
a
was
little
stunned
bit.
by
And he,
that.
and
Right.
yeah, he was
stunned.
He was stunned. And he said, I'm having a little trouble keeping my head up. And Casey said, we'll be all right.
Be all
Yep.
right, man.
You
That's
need
Casey's
you
team.
need a steady force in your locker room like that. And it's
Oh,
not a
God,
knock
you do.
against Garrett whatsoever.
No, I'm
because
not.
You know what? I'm glad it was pissed off and just kind of like, how do we lose this? But you also need that stabilizing force, like you said, Sip, with Casey. Say, look, we're gonna be all right.
Mhm.
We're gonna be all right.
Mhm.
That's a
Quarterback.
The quarterback, man. I'm
Quarterback's
telling you,
got to
man,
be that guy. You got
Yes.
to be that guy.
Absolutely.
And I think they have that guy.
They do.
Hopefully so. All right, we got to run. The drive with AD and Raf is next for Steve Sipple. I'm Jake Sorensen. See you.
Gaina Trucking is hiring CDL Class A and B drivers. Gaina Trucking guarantees a 40-hour work week year-round, and their strong team culture